Under the lights, not many places quite like it, Louis, and really built up in the last sort of 10-15 minutes, and now fever pitch here just before kick-off. Great atmosphere here.
Saturday night football here on BBC Radio London. It's Charlton from the Championship against Chelsea from the Premier League. Liam Rosenior's first game in charge of the Blues. He knows the Addicks boss Nathan Jones well from their time together at Brighton and Hove Albion. He knows the Valley well as well. He managed the Derby County side to a 1-0 defeat here in League One in August of 2022. A lot of pressure on his shoulders this evening. He'll be desperate to get off to a good start for his new side following his move from Strasbourg, but we're getting ready to kick off. It's Chelsea who will get us underway. They're in blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks. They're shooting away from the travelling supporters in the Jimmy Seed stand. They're shooting towards the covered end here at the Valley. The Addicks in their red shirts, white shorts and red socks, and we are underway here in SC7. It goes back to Jorgensen, the Chelsea goalkeeper, who's sending the ball forward. Carey Bree with the header for the Addicks will go out for a throw on this near side as the underdog, Johnny. I mean, what would Nathan Jones have been saying to his side for these first 10 minutes or so?
He'll be saying fast start, I think, try and use the atmosphere, try and feed off of the crowd. Don't go gung-ho. So you just see now that they're happy to let Chelsea have the ball at the back. They'll pick their moments when and if and when they press, and then when they get opportunities, I think they'll try and put it on Chelsea. Some direct balls, some runs in behind, and try and stretch them. Just try and make them feel uncomfortable. You know, it can be a difficult place for opposition to play football here when the atmosphere is like this, and that's what they have to try and make Chelsea feel.
Chelsea have the ball in their back line, and it's rolled over to this near side Buddy Eashiel. Back to Tosi, and it goes. Chelsea just happy to try and hold possession of the ball in the opening exchanges here. I can see Liam Rosenior with his hand in his pocket, standing towards the edge of his technical area now, already urging his side to try and get the ball forward. Buddy Eashiel has it though. He ends up rolling it back to the far side, and Ashenpong will try and make ground down the right hand side for Chelsea. Forced back once more to Tosin, who's put under pressure from Miles Leeburn, the son of former Addict striker Carl Leeburn. Once famously got knocked out in a fixture at Stamford Bridge between these two sides. This is the first time these two teams have met since 2007. Frank Lampard the scorer in a Premier League game. Chelsea's first trip to SC7 since then. It's the Blues who have the ball in the middle of the park now. Santos touches it over to Buddy Eashiel now, trying to bring the ball forward. It's Garnacho on this left hand side with his bright blonde hair. Chelsea forced back towards the halfway line again. Tosin seen more of the ball than anyone else so far, and he has it once more inside the centre circle. 2 minutes gone here on BBC Radio London in the FA Cup third round. Still Charlton 0, Chelsea 0. I'd hazard a guess that Chelsea have had about 98% possession so far, Johnny, and they try and play the ball over towards the far side from Santos, but it was cut out by Tyrese Campbell. Will send it forward to Charlie Kalman, just over halfway, but his ball looking back for Campbell was cut out. Doherty though wins it back on the halfway line here. The Addict skipper, and Charlton are mounting their first attack of this game down the left hand side with Tyrese Campbell. Low crossing towards the near post. It's going to be put behind, and it's an early corner for the Championship side. Charlton have a corner. 2.5 gone, still 0-0.
Yeah, first we've seen of Charlton in an attacking sense. Like you said, Chelsea have had a lot of the ball, but a lot of it's been round the back, and Charlton win the ball in midfield, and we get first chance to see Tyrese Campbell in that attacking left-hand channel. Gets it his full-back, tries to go on the outside, left-footed cross is cut out, but only put behind for a corner, and a good opportunity now for Charlton.
James Bree to take this corner for the Addicks, given permission to play in this tie by his parent club Southampton. One arm aloft. In comes the delivery now. It's a deep one towards the far side. The goalkeeper Jorgensen punches it up into the air. Jones tries to win a header for the Addicks, as does Carey, and it bounces through in the end to the arms of the goalkeeper. The Addicks trying to make a nuisance of themselves inside that 6-yard box, but eventually Philip Jorgensen will grab hold of the ball and just slow play down as Chelsea look to build from the back once more.
Yeah, you feel like they're going to be opportunities for Charlton, those set-piece situations. See, really try and put the goalkeeper under pressure there.
Chelsea tried to bring the ball up the pitch, but Hato was dispossessed by Bree, and then Leeburn holds it up nicely on the halfway line and forces Santos to put it out for a throw in front of Nathan Jones's dugout. Nathan Jones no stranger to playing against Chelsea, of course, with his Luton side when they're in the Premier League. And Charlton work the ball back to Lloyd Jones, who's put under pressure there and forced out for a Charlton throw on this near side by Mark Guiu, the Spanish striker for Chelsea. It's a Charlton throw just in their right back position. Keenan Goff, what a day it is for him. He's only made one senior start for the Addicts before today, which was on Boxing Day in the defeat up at Norwich. And he's starting here, the 19-year-old, against Chelsea. Now it's Leeburn trying to bundle away down the right-hand side. He's pulled down there by Tosin. It'll be a free kick midway through the Addicts half, and I think that will be an early yellow card, and it certainly is. In fact, it was Buddy Ashiel who was the man who wiped out the Charlton forward, so it will be a yellow card for him. And Charlton with a chance to try and whip something in from this set piece on the right hand side. Yeah, rightfully a yellow card there. Leeburn got a chance to run down the right channel, open his legs. He just had the beating of his man Badashai come across, but it's just always the wrong side of Leeburn. He gets his body across, forces the foul, and again another opportunity now for Bree to deliver a wide free kick into the box. These are going to be key, I think. If Charlton are going to have success tonight, these type of situations, the corner before you just saw, and these type of wide free kick situations. Bree is to bend this free kick. It goes deep towards the far side where Jones has peeled away and heads it down towards the edge of the box, but the officials say that the ball had drifted behind for a goal kick before Lloyd Jones was able to nod that down towards Carey on the edge of the area. So it'll be a goal kick for Chelsea, which they take quickly and roll out to Caicedo, who's played a cup game here before for Brighton and Hove Albion. Missed one of the penalties in the penalty shootout when the Addicts triumphed in that League Cup game. Ended up in the quarter-finals against Manchester United that season under Dean Holden a couple of years ago, as Charlton dispossessed Chelsea in the middle of the park, and Doherty's ball just goes up and out, and it bounces kindly off Leeburn, and will be picked up by Kelman in the right-hand channel for the Addicts here. Coventry breathes in a little bit of space, plays a 1-2 with Coventry. He'll think about bending in across here towards the edge of the box. It's flicked off a Chelsea head. It'll be picked up by Amari Bell midway through the Chelsea half. Over towards the left-hand side, and Campbell, it goes for the Addicts onto his right foot, bends across in, but it's way too near the goalkeeper there, and Jorgensen will make the claim there. 6 gone here on BBC Radio London. It's Charlton 0, Chelsea 0. Yeah, it's a really bright start from Charlton. First couple of minutes, Chelsea had a lot of possession, but last 5 minutes, Charlton have grown into it. A lot of play in Chelsea's half, couple of set-piece situations, opportunity to deliver the ball there from Tyrese Campbell, just too close to the goalkeeper. But I feel like every time Charlton get an opportunity to deliver balls into the box, they really need to take them up, and hopefully the quality can be a little bit better than it was there from Campbell, but he's getting into good positions to deliver into the box. Chelsea comfortable in possession here inside the Charlton half. Again, it's Tosin who will work it over to Ashampong on the right-hand side for Chelsea in his bright orange boots. Bats to Tosin, the former Fulham man, and across it comes to Buddy Ashiel, the man who picked up that yellow card for the foul on Leeburn a few moments ago. In between the lines it goes. It's a good strong challenge that from Lloyd Jones. Picked up again though in the midfield by Chelsea and Santos. Ashampong now will bring the ball forward over to the far side it goes. Chelsea looking to try and find a space for a cross on that right-hand side into the box. They come low cross in towards the middle. It's spilt by Will Mannion, but he'll be able to get away with it. Mannion felt he was put under unfair pressure there, but Charlton will clear up to halfway anyway. And Chelsea will look to build again. It's 2 wins in 11 for Chelsea in all competitions. Their last victory did come in a cup competition as they send the ball forward. That was against, it's taken by Mannion. That was against Cardiff in the League Cup quarter-final back on the 16th of December. Charlton not been much better recently. 1 win in 11 championship games. That came just before Christmas against Oxford here at the Valley, where Charlie Kelman scored the winner. Gary Rowett sacked not long after that game, the former Millwall man who was in charge of Oxford at the time. Chelsea have the ball in the back line, and they'll send it over to the right-hand side. Looking to try and attack with Gittins on that far side. Works its way back, and Chelsea again happy to slow the play down when they have possession inside the Chelsea half and just try and suck Charlton out of position a little bit. Now they have it in the centre circle, and again they will roll it all the way back to Tosin. Only 2 previous FA Cup meetings between these two sides. The most recent one was in the mid-90s. Chelsea have won them both by 3-0. Charlton did beat Chelsea in the League Cup on penalties when both teams were Premier League sides back in the early 2000s. And Charlton have the ball now in the middle of the park with Goff on the right-hand side. He tries to tickle it up the line for Bree, but Garnacho did enough to get a foot in there and put it out for a Charlton throw on this near side. Nathan Jones barking out instructions to his Addict side. And Charlton haven't been beyond the 3rd round since the 13-14 season. Jacko, you'll remember well, getting to the quarter-finals
Only losing, too well, Louis.
Losing eventually to Sheffield United, but some great days on the way up to it. Charlton attack now down the left-hand side with Tyrese Campbell into the box, gets the shot away and he slaps it wide off the near post. That was the first effort on goal we've really seen in this game, but Tyrese Campbell couldn't direct that one on the target.
No, a bit wayward with his shot there. Got the switch of play really well through Doherty. Ball landed, they won it in midfield, Charlton. They get that switch of play into Campbell, and he's in a 1v1 there with a Chimpong. I just wonder whether he could have been a little bit more positive there. The sort of edge of the box, can he get the defender backing off into the penalty box? You bring in sort of the penalties, we know how good he is in those 1v1 situations and dribbling, so perhaps I would have liked to have seen him get at the defender there rather than shift it onto his weaker side for the shot.
Voice of Johnny Jackson there, the former Addicks manager. There's going to be a halt in the game here. There is a medical situation in the crowd, which is occurring in front of us here in the West Stand, and a person is being dealt with in front of the dugouts now. They've just been taken down towards the front of the pitch, and the club staff, including club doctors, Ad and Co, I can see down there, are getting involved as well, which is why the game would have been stopped, just to enable members of club staff to try and give the person in question the medical attention they need. So there will be a short break in play at the moment. The person I can see is speaking and sitting in a chair relatively happily, so hopefully this will be something that Ad and Co will be able to deal with, but they are the Charlton medical staff getting involved in this. So while we're waiting for play to continue, what have you made of the first 10 minutes so far, Jacko?
Yeah, really even. Good start from Charlton. They've had their moments, a couple of set pieces, a corner where they put the goalkeeper under pressure. Tyrese Campbell's had a couple of opportunities to be positive down that side. Chelsea have only really, for all their possession, a lot of it's been round the back. They've had one real opportunity where Gittins got down the right hand side and forced Campbell back into a defensive position, gets down the side and whips across the face of goal. Manu looked like he might have spilled it. It could have probably gone anywhere, but Charlton were able to clear their lines. But really, that's the only sort of attacking threat we've seen so far from Chelsea. For all their possession, a lot of it's been across the back, and Charlton have been happy to sit in and allow them to have the possession in their own half and soak up that pressure. So I think Nathan will be really happy with the start this team have made.
Good stuff. So that's Johnny Jackson here alongside me here at the Valley. So the two sets of players did come over towards the near side to take instructions from the dugout, but that is pretty much in the vicinity currently of where the medical emergency is happening here at the Valley, in front of the West Lower stand here. So it looks like we will have a brief break in play whilst the person in question is being seen to by medical staff. Jacko, obviously Liam Rosenior's first game in charge. Been a lot of talk about that over the last few days, as you can imagine. I watched his press conference in the build-up, and he was asked one question about this game, but more about coming in and taking over at Stamford Bridge. It's a hot seat to go into, I guess, that one. But when you're Liam Rosenior and you get a chance, you're never going to turn down Chelsea, are you?
Oh no, for him on a personal level, it's an absolutely. I think he said that in his first press conference. It was an opportunity that he absolutely can't pass up. Whether, obviously some raised eyebrows around, his past, having sort of only managed Hull and then Strasbourg, whether that qualified him, if you like, to be the Chelsea manager. But we know the model that Chelsea are going for, obviously, is affiliation with the club, the French club Strasbourg, that are also owned by the same group. So in that sense, and the way that Chelsea, the direction that they're going, it does make sense with the young players and young squad to have a young coach that they can mould. But even he, I'm sure, a couple of months ago wouldn't have envisaged it to be sat here in the hot seat as Chelsea manager. And it's obviously he looks like he's an exciting young coach. He's got some experience already, but coming in here and taking over of a club the size of Chelsea will be obviously a massive eye-opener to him, I'm sure. He seems a cool, calm customer. He seems to be taking it all in his stride, but obviously it's early days now, and the scrutiny that you're under, Louis, when you're a manager in the Premier League, but for any team, but for a team like Chelsea who have got such a history of chopping and changing managers as well, obviously that comes with scrutiny. But be interesting to see how he does. Obviously this is his first game down on the touchline, but his his interviews and the way he's conducted himself so far, he seems a good fit.
So the person in question who has been suffering with the medical emergency is being wheeled away along the touchline. That's the applause you're hearing from the Charlton supporters and the Chelsea fans to my right hand side as well. He did seem to stick his thumb up as he was going down the touchline, so hopefully all will be well there, but he seems to be getting the best care that he can. So we've had a break in play of about 5 minutes there. I think we stopped just around the 9th minute mark, 10th minute mark or so, and we'll be ready to get back underway then in this FA Cup third round match here at the Valley between Charlton and Chelsea. 0-0 after 14 and a half minutes on the clock. We've only played about 9 or so of those minutes, but we're back underway here at the Valley, and it's back with the goalkeeper Jurgensen for Chelsea. Receives the ball off Badiashile, and now Chelsea will look to play out from the back as they do again with Caicedo. Brings the ball over the wall halfway line. Doherty tries to get a foot in now, but Chelsea are driving towards the edge of the Charlton box. Pull back there from Doherty, but Chelsea are able to continue. There's a chip in towards the area, headed towards goal, and it's a comfortable save in the end. I think it was Gittins who arrived at that far post, but looped up into the air, and it's easy in the end for Will Mannion.
Yeah, comfortable save in the end, but cut through Charlton quite easily there from the goalkeeper straight into Caicedo from the goal kick. They worked it out to Buonanotte, who cuts inside on his left foot, and it's Santos making that late run from midfield, and Buonanotte just finds him with just a little feeler of a left-footed cross into that back post, and Santos is arriving. If he gets more on his header, he could cause Mannion problems into that far corner, but can't quite get anything behind it. Comfortable save in the end for the keeper.
So Chelsea will look to bring the ball forward again, driving through the midfield. They work it over to Gittins on that far side, driving towards the box. Here's a shot, it drives towards goal, and it's Mannion who fists it away in the end. It'll be put behind by Campbell on that far side, and it's a corner for Chelsea, their first of the game.
Yeah, Chelsea have been good since the restart here. There's a couple of sighters this time. Gittins on that right hand side, looking to get his shot off. Just takes a little step to his right, sends Campbell the wrong way, gets that shot off straight at Mannion. In the end, he managed to palm it out into a dangerous area. Campbell just toes it behind for a corner.
Chelsea corner then in front of the covered end here at the Valley. 0-0 on BBC Radio London. In comes a delivery. It's headed away by Leeburn at the near post, behind for a second corner for Chelsea. Did have some years in the Chelsea academy, Miles Leeburn. He's been playing his target man role superbly over the last couple of weeks, Miles Leeburn, particularly up at Blackburn last week, where he ended up coming off with cramp, but he's fit enough to play in this game. Won that header at the near post, but it is behind for a second Chelsea corner, being taken in front of the covered end. Everyone just retreating into the box, and comes the delivery. It's towards the near side again. Again, it's Leeburn who heads it back out to the corner taker on that far post. Gittins now will be threaded back in towards the centre of the pitch. Gittins once more, playing a couple of 1-2s with Caicedo, lift it into the area. Charlton get a foot in again, and now Leeburn will just launch the ball into Chelsea territory. It's one that James Bree is going to try and chase, but he's always going to be beaten to that by Hato, the left back for Blues today. And Chelsea have it again back in their back line. Caicedo, who dropped deep to pick it up, he now has it again on the halfway line. Caicedo rolls it over towards the right hand side. Buonanotte, who had the ball, but he's threaded it back inside to Santos. Chelsea just patient in their build-up again. 17 gone here after that 5-minute medical emergency delay, but it's still 0-0 between Charlton and Chelsea in the FA Cup third round. We've already seen some big scalps today. It's Chelsea looking to try and avoid that fate as they come forward with Ashtonporn over to Gittins on that far side. Inside the box now, loops it in towards the near post, but it's headed away as far as the edge of the box, and the driven shot from Santos will just fly wide of the far post, and it remains 0-0.
Yeah, another opportunity for Chelsea, just shot from the edge of the box. They're starting to get into Charlton's half a little bit easier now. Caicedo starting to get on it, dictate it. Centre halves are stepping in. Chimpong going to join the attack, feeding Gittins again, whose cross is cleared, and again it's Santos, ball forced to him. 23 yards out, trying to get that shot off, doesn't quite get hold of it, and goes behind for a goal kick. But a couple of sighters now for Chelsea.
Leeburn wins the flick on from the goal kick from Mannion, but in the end it's Sonny Carey, Charlton's top scorer. He gives away a foul just inside the Chelsea half. Kelman across to make sure Chelsea can't take it quickly, but Caicedo will just roll it back to Ashimpong anyway. Into Tosin for the Blues. And again, just patient build up here. Santos now. Tosin again inside the centre circle. Liam Rosenior still barking out instructions on the edge of his 6-yard box. His father, Leroy Rosenior, played 3 games on loan from the Addicts back in the day, Johnny. Before my time, that one, so I didn't know that until I had the pleasure of working with him at a game a few years ago, away at Bristol City.
A bit before mine as well, Lou.
Yeah. Certainly before he played there. So Charlton had the ball on the halfway line with Caicedo. Still patient, still trying to find a way through. Charlton sitting back in their shape, and that ball forward is cut out by Connor Coventry. Nathan Jones would have been happy with the structure his side have shown there. Chelsea have it again with Santos. Every red shirt inside the Addicts half as Chelsea have the ball on the halfway line. Caicedo now has been looking to try and pull a few strings here, and it's Ashimpong now. They work it over to the far side, and Gittins into the box. Lovely step over, gets towards the byline. Can he thread a ball inside? He can. It's picked up with a back to goal by Chelsea shirt. Now edge of the area trying to bundle their way through, but again Charlton will get a foot in. It'll be launched up towards the halfway line where Tosin takes over once more for Chelsea. 0-0, 20 gone here on BBC Radio London. Nathan Jones outside his technical area on the left hand side, but the fourth official doesn't seem to have noticed. And Chelsea have the ball again. Charlton fans get behind their side against the Premier League giants. Chelsea looking to try and work a way through, but Charlton with bodies in the way. It falls to Bree. It will just send it up towards the halfway line for Kelman to chase, but Tosin wins that header, and once again Chelsea will take over with Caicedo inside the centre circle. Now he works over to Ashimpong on that far side. Academy product for Chelsea. Santos just to find a way through this resolute Charlton side. They've been so good defensively at times this year, as Bree takes over though, wins the ball back off Garnacho. And then the ball out from Goff is picked up on the halfway line by Carey. Plays a 1-2 with Kelman. Here's a chance for Sonny Carey to drive towards the edge of the box. Foot came in from Caicedo to win possession back for Chelsea though. They work it back to Jorgensen, and Ashimpong will pick it up on that far side. There's been very few fleeting moments where the Addicts have looked to attack. There's been a couple where they have drove from forward with the ball, and we saw that yellow card for Badiashile earlier on, and Caicedo had to track back there as well. Yeah, it was a little moment there for Carey. Charlton won it back, some sloppy play from Chelsea, forced a turnover, and it's Carey driving through the midfield. You think he might just be the other side, but Caicedo does what he does. He manages to get back. It's just a little toe that he gets. Toes it away from Carey back to his centre half, and the danger's averted, and obviously that's what you get with Caicedo. We know how comfortable he is with the ball, and now he's getting Chelsea ticking in possession, but when they lose the ball he's equally as good. He's able to break up attacks, and you saw that there where you thought Carey might be away, but he manages to avert the danger. Kelman just left one on Caicedo there when the ball had gone in the middle of the park. He basically just went and pushed him over, but the referee blew his whistle and gave the Charlton striker a talking to, and Chelsea have the ball back in possession again on that right hand side with Gittins up against Tyrese Campbell playing at left wing back for the Addicts. Caicedo now tries to loop it into the area, but Campbell wins the header. Caicedo once more will try and make something of it on the edge of the box, but Doherty, I think it was, who got a foot in there, and now Leeburn will win the header on the halfway line. Towering over Tosin there, but Kelman couldn't latch on to that one, as Badiashile, who was able to maintain possession for Chelsea and just roll it back to Jorgensen. Both these sides have won the FA Cup, of course. Chelsea 8 times, most recently in 2018. Charlton won it back in 1947, the first South East London club to win the trophy, of course, as the ball's threaded through towards the edge of the Charlton penalty area, but Will Mannion comes out towards the edge of his box. So it's a big game for Mannion to be coming into. It's only other game since the playoff final at the end of last season, Johnny, was a 3-1 League Cup win against Stevenage. This is a big one to be coming into cold, isn't it? It is, yeah. You just wonder, something happened on the training ground, little injury that's give Mannion his opportunity. None of us probably expected him to be in the starting lineup tonight. Obviously the opportunities haven't been there. He's done great back end of last season, and I'm sure Nathan's got full faith in him to throw him into a game like this when he hasn't been playing regularly. You know, what he's done for the club so far. Yeah, no sign of in the bank. No sign of Thomas Kaminski today on the bench either, so perhaps an injury picked up there. But Chelsea have the ball again. It's this slow, patient build-up play. They're waiting for a crack to appear in this Charlton defence. They work it over to Gittins on that left-hand side. Midway through the first half here, it's still 0-0. Though we will have a lot of stoppage time after that 5-minute or so break for a medical emergency here at the Valley. And Chelsea again, they're forced all the way back towards the edge of the centre circle, and Tosin, who just gives it to Caicedo, and now over to Gittins on that far side. They've tried this a few times, Chelsea, and an overlapping run on that far side, but it's read by Campbell, who could get there before Ashimpong. The ball out though from Campbell, comes off a Chelsea player and drifts out for a throw. I think it was Caicedo, got his foot on the ball, but it's out for a throw in front of the Alan Kirbishley stand on that far side. Charlton manager who knew all about facing Chelsea, of course, time and time again in the Premier League. There was one phase where Charlton won 4 games in a row against Chelsea, home and away. Remember a couple with Jason Ewell scoring here at the Valley, Sean Bartlett winner at Stamford Bridge, Kevin Lisby with a winner at Stamford Bridge as well. But 2 clubs are worlds apart now as Amari Bell clears up towards the halfway line, where Campbell will play it off to Doherty. And this is nice football from the Addicts, but he's ball forward to Lieburn. He just tried to lever it over to that left hand side, but too much on it. It goes out for a throw in on the halfway. 25 gone here on BBC Radio London. It's still Charlton 0, Chelsea 0. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got coverage of West Ham against QPR, another London derby in the FA Cup third round on 94.9 FM BBC Sounds and on your smart speaker as Chelsea come forward with Garnacho. They play it across the edge of the penalty area, shooting chance perhaps on the edge of the box here. They thread it into the area instead. This Santos now gets the ball back, and Chelsea forced backwards again. Charlton holding their shape. Tosin invited perhaps to shoot from range. He does, and fires that into the covered end. It's still Charlton 0, Chelsea 0.
Yeah, Charlton will be more than happy with that. Centre half stepping in 35 yards out. Tosin on his right foot. Not sure how many of them he's scored in his career so far, but he'll do well to beat Mannion from there. And there was opportunities for Chelsea before that. Buonanotte could have got a shot off on his left foot. Santos in and around the box. Tried to set one for Caicedo, who looked to turn down a shot. They go back to the centre half, who's a long, long way out. He's never going to score from there, and he takes a shot on. They'll be frustrated with that, Liam Rosina, because Chelsea were building up some pressure in and around Charlton's box, had them pinned back, and then centre half lets them off the hook by taking on a bit of a ridiculous one from range.
Hasn't scored since the Club World Cup. Tosin with that effort. It was no Vincent Kompany there as he lined up the shot, but Charlton had the throw in on that far side. Amari Bell, and he'll be played back inside to Coventry, who's on the edge of his own penalty area. Happy to use Will Mannion in this case, and he'll pump it up towards the halfway line. Kelman tries to challenge for the header with Caicedo, but comes out second best. But Charlton will take over now with Carey forward to Bree into the channel. It will go for Miles Lieburn to try and find some space for a cross here. It's completely crowded out, but the loose ball will sit kindly for Bree, and Charlton will work it back towards the halfway line again. It's Lloyd Jones now who has it in the centre back position for Charlton. Amari Bell, so comfortable in possession, sends it over to the left hand side and then gets it back off Campbell. Charlton just enjoying a little bit of a spell on the ball here, which we haven't seen too much in this FA Cup third round game so far, but it's still 0-0 as Mannion will send the ball forward. The Addicts goalkeeper Lieburn tries to win his flick on, doesn't win it that time, and Chelsea will battle away for it in the middle of the park, but it's Connor Coventry, the former West Ham man, who comes out on top for Charlton. It's lovely ball turned around the corner from Bree and picked up by Carey. That's a loose pass inside, gives the ball straight back to Chelsea. We'll look to try and bring it forward. It was Buonanotte who took over, and he has it again here. Now Chelsea will work it over to the left-hand side, and Hato. Garnacho up against the Addicts on the left-hand side, up against Bree. He's faced Charlton before in a quarter-final of a League Cup with Man United as it goes across to Caicedo on the edge of the area. Caicedo gets the ball back again. He thought about the shot, but he just can't find the space. So he'll have to work it out to Gittins on that far side. Everyone back by Lieburn for the Addicts. Gittins into the penalty box. Step overs again now. Can't get it beyond Tyrese Campbell though, so he's forced to go back to Caicedo. Gittins once more now will find space for the shot, left-footed shot. It floats well over the crossbar. Again it's into the lower covered end here. Again it's the Charlton fans who are sarcastically cheering, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, it's good defending from Charlton. So Chelsea have got them sort of camped in and around their box really, but every time it looks like a Chelsea player might be able to get a shot off, someone gets up to the ball, Coventry and Doherty working really hard, that when Santos and Buonanotte look like getting shots off, they're getting up to the ball, they're forcing that extra pass, forcing it to go wide. Gittins a lot of the time has gone on the outside to try and beat Campbell. This time comes inside on his weaker left foot and the shot goes wayward. So good defending from Charlton.
Well, he lost 2 home games in the whole calendar year of 2025. Both came towards the end of that year, of course, against Southampton and Middlesbrough. As Chelsea will look to try and bring the ball forward again with Gittins on that far side there. Badgering away here, the Blues trying to find a way through. Doherty, excellent challenge on the edge of the box there, and again Chelsea can't get into the penalty area. Now Carey will bring it away for the Addicts. Over to the right hand side it goes, and Miles Leeburn just inside the Chelsea half. Lovely little back heel into the path of Charlton's top scorer Carey, then sends it through the legs of one of the Chelsea men, Santos, and he's wiped out afterwards. It'll be another Charlton free kick. This time the referee not interested in sending a yellow card in the direction of a Chelsea player, it looks like, Chris Kavanagh, but it will be a Charlton free kick in a similar position to one they had earlier on in the half, and Brea's going to come over and try and bend this one in again. It's midway through the Chelsea half towards the right hand side, and these are the set pieces, Johnny, that you've said the Addicts do have to target. Yeah, these are good opportunities. There's a chance for penalty box entries, create a little bit of chaos, send the big guys up go Goff. See, Jones will be a major target, but it was good play by Carey to get the free kick. Good little bit of skill, a little nutmeg, gets the ball the other side of Santos, and then it's Batshuayi again coming with a little nudge in the back. Not enough for that second yellow, but that might be something that Charlton want to target. Bree takes these set pieces, a flat one headed down in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Shot from Doherty, it hits the defender there, and Chelsea able to clear. I think it was Tosin who got his body in the way there, just set out for Doherty. Now it's a foul by the Addict skipper, and he will be shown a yellow card as Chelsea brought the ball away on that far side with Gittins. Doherty clearly pulled him back, and he will go into the book as well. Yeah, a little harsh that one perhaps. I think Charlton sort of had bodies back. He's well in his own half, was Gittins. Just a little pullback of the shirt, but referees deemed it. Doherty's breaking up a possible counter-attack, I suppose, so a yellow card. He reacted well as his own shot was blocked on the edge of the box. It fell out to Gittins and needed to go into defensive mode, Doherty, and he got out there quick to what you would call probably a good foul there, Louis, but obviously to get the yellow card, probably was thinking that he might get away with one there. Chelsea have the ball again. Again, it's that slow, patient build-up play. Again, Charlton just keeping their shape, looking to press when they can, but trying not to get sucked out too much, because that's when Chelsea will work the ball beyond you, and they have done this time over towards Gittins on that far side, looking to try and run at Tyrese Campbell, but Amari Bell read it superbly and will come away with the ball. Plenty of Premier League and Championship experience for Amari Bell, of course, so he won't be overawed by this challenge. His ball forward in the end will be picked up by Kelman, but Chelsea in Caicedo able to pick his pocket and send it back to Jorgensen, former Villarreal man, in between the sticks for Chelsea, replaced Sanchez today, and he featured in the cup games for Chelsea this season. I do wonder if there would have been any temptation for Liam Rosenior to have gone with his strongest side today, looking to try and make an impact on his first game, but they've got so many games coming up over the next few weeks. Obviously the semi-final first leg of the League Cup against Arsenal on Wednesday as well, so he has sensibly rotated his side. There should still be enough quality on that pitch to win this game, isn't there? Yeah, that's what he'll be thinking, that he puts this 11 out and he would hope that it's enough to see off Charlton, but there's some huge games coming up. I think if it didn't have those two-legged semi-final against Arsenal around the corner, then perhaps you see a stronger team, but again, I'll be thinking that this should be enough to get the job done, and there's plenty of quality out there. Chelsea have the ball on the right-hand edge of the Charlton penalty area once again with Gittins. You've seen a lot of it. Acheampong makes a dart beyond him, but Gittins forced backwards to Caicedo. Acheampong now. Again, they're just struggling to find a way through this Charlton side at the moment, who are so regimented in their defensive structure, one of the best sides defensively in the Championship, until they started leaking goals over the last few weeks when they've picked up a few injuries, the Addicts. And they forced Chelsea all the way back towards the halfway line again with Tosin. 33 minutes into this game, and Charlton still holding Chelsea at arm's length. It's still 0-0 here on BBC Radio London, as Chelsea thread the ball up towards the middle of the Charlton half, and they'll work it over to Batshuayi on the left-hand side. Trying to carve away through. It's Caicedo, and Ashton Pong's got space to shoot here. He does shoot, and it's palmed wide by Mannion, puts it behind for a corner.
Yeah, probably the best shot we've seen so far from Chelsea. They work it really well. Santos finds Caicedo. He thinks about shooting, but again, Charlton get bodies up to it. But Ashton Pong is the spare man, that right centre half, stepping in to join the attack, and found himself 20-25 yards out. Lets one rip on his right foot. Looks like it might be going in the far left top corner, but Mannion up to the save, pushes it round for a corner.
Garnacho to take this corner for Chelsea. Front of the covered end again. It's a one fisting towards the near side. Lee Burn's able to hack it away in the end, but it'll come out wide to Garnacho again. The corner taker up against Campbell on the left-hand side for Chelsea. His cross is blocked by Tyrese Campbell, and Chelsea will have to try and start again towards the halfway line. They'll bring it back with Caicedo. Charlton survived that set piece, but again it's Chelsea just controlling the ball here at the Valley. 10 minutes to go before the break, plus what will be some lengthy stoppage time after a break in play earlier for an emergency in the stands. It's still 0-0 here on BBC Radio London. Already seen Palace knocked out by Macclesfield today, one of the biggest FA Cup shocks ever. The FA Cup holders are out. As Garnacho tries to bring the ball forward again, it's Tyrese Campbell again who thwarts him, but it picked up by Chelsea by Gittins on this left-hand side now. He's come across and he threads the ball inside to Caicedo. Somehow comes away with it after a challenge from Kelman. And now they bend it towards the edge of the box, and it's headed clear this time by Bell, and Kelman's able to hold the ball up for Charlton, and then over to the left-hand side it goes to Bell on the halfway line. And in the end, he runs out of steam there. Kelman, no stranger to occasions like this, was part of the Leyton Orient side that gave Manchester City a real scare last season, of course, at Brisbane Road. So watching that goal from the halfway line from Jamie Donnelly earlier on today. In the end, City ran out winners in that one, but can Charlton keep Chelsea at arm's length? It will be the Blues who can win on Liam Rosenior's first game in charge. Chelsea have the ball on the halfway line. Charlton fans urging their team, try and keep their shape. Chelsea fans have been relatively quiet so far. I haven't heard any of the disquiet that was heard at Craven Cottage on Wednesday night when they were beaten, and there were some protests against the ownership, as Garnacho has it on the left-hand side for Chelsea. They're trying to thread the ball back inside, but this time it comes off the chest of Sonny Carey. He'll chip the ball over the top looking for the run of Kelman, but that's Tosin who's going to be able to take over and roll it back to Jorgensen in the Chelsea goal, and they'll look to go again and build again from the back here. Been sold. It's 26,475 here at the Valley. 3,317 fans who've made the trip from West London. They're looking for their side to try and get an opening goal here as Chelsea bring it forward down the right hand side with Gittins. Santos available on the edge of the box. He tries to send it inside instead, but Bell will clear for the Addicts. Picked up by Tosin midway through the Charlton half. Cuts back in beyond Kelman, and it'll go across and they'll work it back to Santos. Now Ashton Pong for Chelsea. Gets the ball back inside to Santos. Caicedo once more. Chelsea just can't find a way to carve through this Charlton side at the moment, who are sitting deep and being hard to break down and keeping their shape, and that sums up the frustration for Chelsea so far as Buddy Aishiel tries to thread the ball to Garnacho on this left-hand side. The former Man United man had already made a dart down the left-hand channel, but the Chelsea defender rolled it behind him and it's out for a throw on this near side. Still 0-0.
Yeah, Charlton's shape's been excellent. They're not seeing a lot of the ball, and when they do win it back, sort of having to clear it, and Chelsea are picking up and coming again, but they're not managing to play through Charlton at all. Chelsea, they're a little bit ponderous, a little bit slow, a little bit predictable. Probably summed up there by Santos's pass trying to get Garnacho, but he's already gone for that run in behind, looking for the ball in behind. Santos plays it to where he just left, to his feet, and misunderstanding, ball goes straight out of play for a Charlton throw, and probably sums up the way that the half's gone. Charlton have been happy to sit in the shape and contain, and Chelsea are finding it really difficult to break them down.
Well, they're trying it again here. Again, it's Chelsea with plenty of possession inside the Charlton half, and they'll send a deep cross in towards the far post, but headed away by Bree, and then Carey will complete the clearance for the Addicts up towards the halfway line, where Kelman tries to battle away with Tosin, but Charlton are able to come away with it in the end as Coventry will bend the ball into the channel. One for Kelman to chase. He was just hoping that would bounce beyond Tosin in the end there, but the Chelsea defender stepped in. Lebo wins it back though for the Addicts now, and Carey has it just inside the Charlton half. Goff, the 19-year-old, rolls it back to Lloyd Jones, the Addicks vice-captain, who's looked right at home since making the step up to the Championship this season. Ball went back to Mannion and he's hoof up towards the halfway line. Well, it comes off the Chelsea man Ashton-Pong, put under a bit of pressure from Tyrese Campbell, goes out for a throw on that far side, and it's a Charlton throw.
Campbell's been excellent defensively down that left-hand side. I think it's something that Chelsea have tried to target. Gittins, when he gets the ball, tries to isolate him in 1v1s. You've seen Ashton-Pong get on the overlap and try and create 2v1s, but he's been up to the task. Ashton-Pong thought he had the better of him there. Campbell belied his sort of size and stature and managed to see it out for the throw-in. He's done great out of possession.
It's only the second time a Premier League side have come to the Valley in the FA Cup since the Addicks were relegated back in 2007. And very narrow defeat against Norwich. Last time that Charlton played a Premier League side here in the FA Cup. They did beat Brighton here, of course, in the League Cup. You remember the Norwich game well, Jacko? It was unlucky not to win that one.
Yeah, that was a close one. They needed one of them thunderbolts from 30-yard bobbler into the corner, last-minute winner. Kararodlu, he needed one of those that day.
I was thinking about that when we were up there at Boxing Day. It took a slight deflection, that one, didn't it, on its way through?
A little one. I don't think it was a big one.
But that was a special day, that one, as Chelsea have the ball again on the halfway line, and this time Bell actually dove into a challenge. Chelsea unable to get away with it. There's a man who's gone down there on the far side for Chelsea, but the referee allowing play to continue. It looks like a back injury after that challenge with Bell, but Charlton have it on the left-hand side here. It's Tyrese Campbell who will get towards the byline. The low cross is put behind. It's another Addicks corner, their second of the game. I think we'll have a break in play here to check on the injured player. It's Buonanotte, who's down, clutching his lower back after that challenge with Amari Bell.
I think it might have been one of those sore ones where he just sort of gets a knee in the lower back, but clean tackle from Bell, stepped in, won the ball well, probably got a little knee in the lower back. Buonanotte, it can be sore. It's calling for treatment, so looks like it's a sore one, but again now opportunity for Charlton from the corner to pose Chelsea some problems, and they might be a man down having to defend this set piece.
And Charlton found out the hard way up at Blackburn on Sunday when they were down to 10 men briefly whilst Miles Leaburn was off. When Blackburn got their equaliser, the Addicks were 2-0 up in that game, looking like they were going to get a much needed 3 points in the Championship, but Blackburn were able to battle back for a 2-2 draw. Breaking play before this corner will be taken then for the Addicks, while the Chelsea man is seen to. And Charlie Kelman got that brace for the Addicks on Sunday. 4 goals in 6 games for Charlie. Top scorer in League One last season, of course, when he was on loan from Queen's Park Rangers. Charlton paid money for him from the Hoops in the summer, and he's really picked up form over the last few weeks. Had a long spell out injured as well, but he scored a goal just before he went out injured and then came back with 3 in his last few games. But looks like the Chelsea man is going to be able to continue. The Buonanotte coming over towards this near side. So Charlton, as Johnny predicted there, looks like they will be able to take this corner while Chelsea are reduced to this 10 men momentarily. 3 minutes to go before the 45 is up. There will be a lot of added time. As I said, we had that medical situation earlier on in the crowd, and now an injury as well. But Charlton take the corner short to Campbell. They roll it towards the edge of the box from Coventry. Bree now will send the cross in. It's meet and drink that one for Tosin, who head it away on the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. Now Carey's put himself under a bit of pressure there, and he's lucky he's been able to manufacture the foul there, because it looked like he was going to be beaten to the ball there by Guillot on the halfway line. In the end goes down and Charlton have the free kick. Must be so frustrating as a manager when you see a set piece like that and you don't find the way to get the cross into the box with any real threat. Yeah, they tried to work a little routine there, Charlton, where Coventry went out and tried to create a little triangle for a better angle, I suppose, for Bree to deliver it. But you just wonder, Chelsea a man down, whether that was an opportunity just to swing one in the box and make life difficult. We're back up to their full complement now, as Charlton will have this free kick on halfway. They send it up towards the edge of the area. Leaburn wins the flick on, bouncing around on the edge of the box, but Chelsea will come away with it. Going to be Gittins on that far side, under pressure from Goff, who gives away the foul. Again, a sensible foul to give away that one, and not enough for a yellow card. So a chance for Charlton to get back into their shape. Chelsea look to try and take it quickly, and it's Santos now who has the ball just inside the Chelsea half, in the centre circle, comes across to the left-hand side, and Badiashile. Oh, it's a loose ball inside. Coventry takes over for the Addicts. Forced to go back to Lloyd Jones in the Charlton centre half position. Lovely chip ball over to this near side, and Bree controls on the halfway line. Back it goes to Goff once more. Jones back on the edge of the Charlton penalty area, and now Bell. Chelsea trying to force Charlton backwards here as he plays a 1-2 with Campbell, and he'll have to try and find space for the ball up the left hand side. Again, just buys a foul on that far side, gets himself in between the ball and the Chelsea man Gittins, a former Borussia Dortmund player, who gives away the free kick on that far side. So Charlton free kick, 44 minutes gone here on BBC Radio London Sport, the FA Cup third round. There's still Charlton 0, Chelsea 0.
Yeah, it's been a pretty even game as far as sort of sights on goal. Charlton have had a couple of moments with Campbell's shot on the left foot, a couple of set pieces. Chelsea have obviously had much more of the ball, much more possession, but a lot of their shots have been from distance, from range. Mannion's had to pull off a couple of saves, but probably saves that you'd expect him to make. Pretty routine, and hasn't really been asked too many questions so far.
It's a ball out from Goff there, who just had to do some defensive duties. Now here's a chance for Chelsea because Garnacho's available on the edge of the area. Bree coming back to try and get the block in, and he does. Garnacho left-footed strike, but it hits Bree. Picked up again though, and Chelsea will work it back out to Garnacho on the corner of the penalty area here. 7 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Chelsea still have it on the edge of the box. Ashampong perhaps with a shooting chance, instead goes over to the right hand side, and Gittins, in comes a deep cross, and Mannion claims that on the edge of his 6-yard box. Thinks about getting the ball up the pitch quickly, and he does. He launches it into the southeast London sky. Leeburn can't win the flick on, but it'll go through to Kelman anyway, where Tosin though does win that header. It's just pulled up there, Tosin on his right hand side. He's just gingerly running off as he made a bit of a grab towards the back of his right leg, but he seems to be battling on for now as Chelsea work it up towards the edge of the Addicts penalty area. Shooting chance from range, and it's palmed wide by Will Mannion. The strike from Gittins almost caught him out at his near side there, but Mannion puts it behind for another Chelsea corner.
Yeah, Gittins driving inside, this time on his left foot. A lot of the time he's tried to go on the outside on his right foot and look for those crosses. This time cuts inside left foot, and most of the time he's been passing from that sort of range, so perhaps Mannion wasn't quite expecting the shot, but this time he goes for it, low and hard left foot down to Mannion's left. Another save that you'd expect him to make, but the goalkeeper's there pushing it around for a corner. But I mean, he had to be alert, he had to be ready for the shot, but again, a save that you'd expect him to make.
Chelsea's fourth corner of this first half. They've played it short on that far side now, and they're trying to work space to get the cross. Comes back to Gittins now, edge of the penalty area. They haven't sent this one in, now they have there with Gittins, headed away by Goff, the youngster. And Charlton will try and complete the clearance with the skipper Doherty, but his left-footed ball up into the air just goes straight up really, and they have to battle away from it on the edge of the box again, and be picked up by Chelsea on that far side. Gittins now forced back to Caicedo. Inside it will come to Santos. Charlton fans again urging their side to try and keep their shape as we're into 7 minutes of added time here, 2 minutes or so into it. Still 0-0 here in the London derby in the FA Cup. Charlton against Chelsea, Championship against Premier League. Liam Rosenior's first game for the Blues, and he's watching his side play the ball around in the midfield, trying to find a way through this Charlton team, which they haven't been able to do so far. As Coventry does really well there to get the ball back for the Addicts now, and just forward it go to Carey, and the looped ball will deflect towards the edge of the box where Kelman's get beyond the defender there. He picks the ball up on the edge of the area here, Kelman, so waiting for the charge to join the attack here with him. Charlie Kelman holds it up really nicely. In the end, we'll go back to Keenan Goff now. Men forward for the Addicts, and they work it over to the right hand side, and Bree. 2.5 minutes of the added 7 gone. Charlton forced all the way back into their own half though with Jones. Coventry now dropping deep to try and make things tick, and he'll lift the ball forward towards the edge of the area, but it's headed away. Doherty dives in, has to be careful there on a yellow card, but Chelsea will come away with the ball on the halfway line. Into Addicts territory they go with Caicedo. Plays a 1-2 and then takes over once more, Caicedo. They work it over to Garnacho on this left hand side now. Goal scorer in an FA Cup final, of course, up against Bree. Forced across, edge of the area. Chelsea still trying to find that space to have a shot, and they have to go back out left to Garnacho again. trying to get onto his right foot, goes parallel with the edge of the area, gets the shot away, but it's charged down by a couple of Charlton bodies. Carey and Coventry were both in there. They'll pick it up again. Chelsea now on the left-hand side. It's Santos who's come across. Charlton keeping their shape on the edge of the box. Chelsea desperately trying to find a way through before half-time. Still 0-0. Garnacho forced back to Caicedo inside the Addicts half. And they really are patient in their build-up here, Chelsea. A little bit too patient at times. They haven't really been able to manufacture a gap with any quick football here, but they have it again on the edge of the area. Jones steps in to win the ball back for the Addicts, but Chelsea take over once more, and it's Caicedo. Charlton struggling to get a foot on the ball in these closing stages of this first half. Santos back to Caicedo. He'll dink the ball into the air, and it's going to bounce up kindly on the edge of the box and volleyed into the top corner. That's a wonderful strike from Hato, the left back. Launches it into the top corner, and Chelsea have the opening goal of the Liam Rosenior reign here at the Valley right on the stroke of half-time. It's the Premier League side who have the lead in the FA Cup third round. It's Charlton 0, Chelsea 1.
Yeah, it's a brilliant strike from Hato on his left foot. And pressure has been building. Chelsea's starting to ask more questions. One thing they've started to do is put more crosses into the box, which has given Charlton a different type of problem to solve. This time Garnacho, instead of passing or shooting, he puts the cross in, but I think it's Lloyd Jones gets his head on it, can clear it, but only as far as Hato, who's coming onto it just inside the penalty box on his left foot. It sits up nicely for him, and it's a brilliant strike on the volley there, straight into the top left-hand corner. Mannion full stretch to his right, but absolutely no chance. It's gone straight in the top corner. A brilliant strike by Hato, and Chelsea grabbed the lead.
Yeah, absolutely ripped beyond Will Mannion that strike. So Liam Rosenior has seen his first goal in charge of Chelsea. The Premier League side lead just before half-time here at the Valley. Charlton 0, Chelsea 1. The Addicts looking for an immediate way back, and they win a throw midway through the Chelsea half on this right-hand side with Carey. Goal scorer Hato thought that was his ball, but the referee didn't agree with him on this near side. So Keenan Goff has come across to take this throw in. Charlton looking for a way back before half-time then. So Charlton 0, Chelsea 1. About a minute and a half to go before the break. Lloyd Jones, the Addicts defender, rolls it back to Will Mannion. Right-footed ball over towards the far side, looking for Campbell, but Ashton got there before the Addicts, the left wing back, who does come back and win the ball back for his side now. Doherty, though, in a bit of trouble. Will set up kindly for Bale, who will send it inside to Coventry, and Charlton will look to try and build here just inside their own half with Sonny Carey now. Over the halfway line it comes, and he rolls it up towards Leeburn. He turns nicely towards the edge of the area, holding it up as well, goes down, and that'll be a Charlton free kick about 5-6 yards outside the penalty area, over towards the right-hand side. And a chance here for the Addicts to try and whip a cross in towards the penalty area in the last stages of this first half. Charlton 0, Chelsea 1.
Yeah, free kick in the dangerous area. It's good play from Charlton. Carey down this right-hand side finds a really good ball inside into Leeburn's feet. He hasn't had much service, the big man, the big striker, into his feet. Most of them have been in the channel for him to chase. This time he gets hold of it, manages to get out of his feet, draws in that challenge from behind, and just, I think he feels the contact goes down, probably a little soft, but he feels that contact from the defender, and once the referee saw that, he gives a free kick. And again, dangerous area, could be a shot, but it looks like Bree's going to try and deliver it, and be a great time for Charlton to try and get back on level terms here.
Bree to take this set piece for the Addicts right on the stroke of half-time. Chelsea leading by a goal to nil here at the Valley. Bree with the free kick into the wall. It looks like he was going for goal there. It'll come back out to him on this right-hand side, and he touches it down the line for Coventry. He'll send in a first-time cross towards the near post. Hacked away back over to Bree on this right-hand side. Sends it inside to Goff, who has to go back, but it's not enough time for Bell to do anything with that on the halfway line, because it's Chelsea who lead at half-time here. The goal right on the stroke of half-time from Jarrell Hato. Volley into the top corner. Liam Rosenior, halfway through his first game as Chelsea boss, will be pleased enough, because it's Chelsea who lead in this FA Cup third round tie here at the Valley. Half-time here on BBC Radio London is Charlton Athletic 0, Chelsea 1.
Total Sport Live.
BBC Radio London.
Our commentary team there at the Valley, as we're seeing pictures of Liam Rosenior marching down towards the tunnel at the corner of the main stand and the covered end. 1-0 to Chelsea. Johnny Jackson alongside Louis Mendes for that. Johnny, just before we let you have a half-time bit of rest, that's a dreadful time to concede a goal. It's a great time to score a goal. It changes the dynamic of both dressing rooms at half-time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's really bad timing from Charlton's point of view. Obviously, great timing from Chelsea. They was knocking on the door, but Charlton have been really resolute in their defending. Looked like they was going to stand up to anything that Chelsea were front and force them into sort of shots from distance. And when the ball did come in the box, they was defending it well. And in 1v1 situations, Gittins and Garnacho weren't getting too much joy down the side. So it looked like things were going to plan for Nathan Jones' teams, but just that moment of quality. The shooting hasn't been brilliant from Chelsea. They're forced Manning into a few sort of comfortable saves. A few have been wayward, but that time Hato caught it brilliantly on his left foot and absolutely no saving that into the top corner.
From Charlton's point, if you're Nathan Jones, though, at this moment in time, you're not going gung-ho straight from the kick-off at the second half, are you?
No, absolutely not. It's important that Charlton try and stay in this game of football, because you feel like Chelsea go and get a second, then it's going to be really difficult for Charlton to come back in. If they can get to, I'm sure if you said to Nathan that if it's still 1-0 in the 80th minute and they've got 10 minutes to really try and turn the screw on Chelsea, then they'd take that. So it's important. They don't have to. They've got 45, 50 minutes to try and get back into this game, but it can be gone in really quickly if they come out too gung-ho at the start of the second half and Chelsea cut through you and get that second. It's a long way back from there. So I expect probably more of the same for Charlton. Chelsea will have a lot of the ball. Charlton will be happy to soak it up and try and play on the counter-attack, and then later in the half maybe make some changes to freshen that up to have more of a threat when Charlton do win it back, because it's been one of the issues, soaking up that much pressure, that when they win the ball back, haven't always had an out ball, but when they have, Leeburn and Kelman have done well and drawn in fouls, and I think if they can get some set-piece situations in that second half, they're going to look at those as perhaps the best opportunity for them to get back in the game.
Still fascinating poised, Johnny. Thank you very much indeed. Back with yourself and Louis in just over 10 minutes' time. 1-0 Chelsea lead in our final commentary game of the day on Total Sport here on BBC Radio London. We started early. Onto the big news, I think, from a FA Cup point of view in a moment or two. But first, let's get reaction from our second commentary game of the day. Tottenham Hotspur coming from behind, 2-0 down at half-time to at least make a game in the second half against Aston Villa. Wilson Odobert getting a goal in the second half with a much improved performance with more intensity and pace and just application from Tottenham Hotspur in a rather passive first half where they saw Villa go 2-0 up. They still, though, got knocked out of the FA Cup 2-1 by the team from the Midlands after the match. Rob Noffman from the BBC spoke to Thomas Frank.
Well, Thomas, a lot to get through. Let's start with half-time. The team walk off 2-0 down. There are boos around the stadium. Were you angry with your players at half-time?
I would say I'd like the response second half. I think the second half is the level and the intensity and passion you want to play with for 90 minutes. That's always the aim. It was the other way around against Sunderland, where we started very good first half, couldn't keep it out second half. This way it was the other way around. So that was still the intention first half. We couldn't succeed with it for whatever reason. Second half, you can see the unity between fans and players and the energy and how they fed out each other, and we played a very good second half, and I think we also got chances, opportunities to equalise.
So how are you going to get that level of performance in 90 minutes?
Yeah, that's ongoing work we need to keep doing. That's the most difficult thing in football, to do that over 90 minutes, every game, every week, and not 2 times a week. But that's the aim, and that's what we're working very hard to achieve. And
are you going to be able to fix that, do you think?
Yeah, I'm not in doubt. We know where we are. We know what we need to do. We're working very hard on that every single day. So you just need to keep going.
And Thomas, you know how these things work. The other part of that question is are you going to be given the time to be able to fix that?
Yeah, I'm not in doubt of that, because we are in a situation where we are keep improving things. Even if we don't get results, I think it's important to look into the level of performance, especially the second half level of performance, the last 5 games. I think that's what you need to look into. Then sometimes the things maybe doesn't go your way all the time, but we need to keep going.
Elsewhere in the competition, the third round today, the holders out. Crystal Palace knocked out the FA Cup by 6th tier Macclesfield, and what's the biggest shock in the competition's history? The Eagles boss Oliver Glasner was celebrating on the Wembley pitch with the trophy last May. in the last, sort of few hours, he's been coming to terms with the fact that his team are no longer in this year's competition. He gave his reaction to the BBC after the full-time whistle.
Yeah, we've seen congratulations to Macclesfield for winning. We missed any kind of quality today. Haven't seen anybody who could win a dribble. Then conceding another set play goal, losing the header, no timing in the header. We know this, but we have to do better. Second goal was more a slapstick goal. And on the other side, if you can't create clear chances, we didn't have really maybe one or two right at the end, but everything else is just lack of quality what we have shown today, and that's why we lost and we deserve to lose.
You made 3 changes at the break. What were you hoping to try and find in the second half?
Quality.
Across the board from the whole range of players on the team?
Yes, from everyone, but it's also bringing one more attacking player, because it's just honestly have no explanation for what I have seen today, and it's really now for all of us to, because it's maybe everybody's squeezed out. We can find some excuses on the other side. I think. And I played 19 years on Mao. It's you don't need a tactics. You don't need in these kind of games. You don't need honestly, you don't need a manager. So I think if you just show what you're capable of and having a little bit of pride, then you perform in a different way. But today we missed everything.
That is the assessment of the Crystal Palace boss. Matt Woosnam covers Crystal Palace for The Athletic. He centred his thoughts after the game.
This was the ultimate humiliation for Palace. They were shown up in every single way. Glasner said that they didn't underestimate the opposition, underestimate Macclesfield, but I think there was an element of that. But I think the main focus has to be on how well Macclesfield played. Damani Miller up front, the number 9, was phenomenal. They really sucked Palace in and didn't let them breathe, and that's what they said after the game as well. It was just a fantastic performance from Macclesfield combined with a absolutely appalling performance from Palace. They can't use the excuse that they don't have the depth. The bench wasn't very good for Palace, but at the same time that team should comfortably win the game, and it was embarrassing. They'd gone from the high of the last time they played in the FA Cup to winning the competition to possibly the most embarrassing moment of their 121 or 120 year history. Glasner rightly wasn't happy, was furious and said he'd change things, but this was just an awful day for Palace.
Well, Palace fan Ollie Thomas also had this to say.
Without a doubt, the most embarrassing defeat I've ever seen as a Palace fan, possibly the most embarrassing defeat in our entire history. Just one FA Cup game after the best game in our entire history. That doesn't even feel Palace-like. It's just beyond parody, really. Macclesfield totally deserved to win. They were comfortably better than us. Physically, technically, tactically. But the worrying trend of us not being able to break down low blocks hit a low point tonight. We just completely lack players who can play behind a striker and get on the ball and make something happen. I think it was a damning indictment of our depth. That team, granted, we're missing some first teamers. There was no Mateta, Johnson didn't start, no Sarr, no Munoz, no Kamada. But the drop-off from those players to players who, make the Premier League bench every week it's worrying. I obviously love Glasner, as every Palace fan does, but he has limitations. And I think this season, those limitations have been somewhat found out since we lost Munoz and Sarr. We're heading in a direction that is not very Palace-like. We lack flair players. We lack game breakers. And Glasner wants distant players, and that's fine. That's worked for him. But ultimately, to win games, you've got to score goals. And we don't really have any players who can make something happen without a pattern that we've pre-rehearsed. And, if you have limited patterns, you get found out. So ultimately, it was terrible. My head was on Mars. I know I'm going to go and enjoy my evening, distance myself from football, and wake up tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day,
Better day for teams in West London in the FA Cup. Not in South London, actually. Millwall getting beaten 5-1, by the way, by Burnley. But Brentford through after a 2-0 win at Sheffield Wednesday. Here's the manager, Keith Andrews, talking to our very own Stuart Smith.
Job done today. You're through to the next round of the Cup. You must be quite pleased with that performance all round.
Yeah, very pleased. Thought the lads were excellent. Competed well, attitude impeccable as always. Played some really good football, respected the competition, respected the opposition, which again we always do. I think we've got real humility as a group about where we are, where we're trying to go to, and where we've been as a club. And really good performance with some really good individual performances within that.
Obviously, before you went out today, you'd have heard the Macclesfield score. Did that put a ricochet around the dressing room?
I think it shows exactly what this competition can do. I haven't seen anything around it, but it's obviously a huge result in the context of this competition. So, little warning shot, but I spoke to the players today about what can happen in games like this. But I always feel with our group that we will never underestimate a challenge, and we certainly didn't do that today.
And certainly the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeepers, both of them played very, very well and denied you maybe 3, 4, 5 goals.
Yeah, a few of our players are probably a little bit frustrated that they haven't added to the scoreline, but that's the nature of it. I thought you're right, the two keepers played particularly well. Maybe our finishing wasn't of the level it could have been. Maybe could have taken the extra pass at times to really make it a really clinical opportunity, but we're pleased with our performance today and obviously the result.
Without picking out an individual as such, both Hickey and Donovan on the right hand side worked really well together, didn't they? Created a lot of problems for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, and in particular in the second half. And a lot of that was down to Sheffield Wednesday in the first half with how well they defended, but felt that space would open up a little bit in the second half, and I thought they dovetailed nicely, whether it was Aaron going inside to create space and outside to overlap and help Rommel, or whether it was Rommel in 1v1 situations. I thought they did really, really well.
Fulham into the hat for the fourth round as well. They went behind to Middlesbrough at home, but 3 goals in the second half, including Kevin getting his first goal for the club, and Harry Wilson, obviously he always scores. Harry Wilson, Emil Smith-Rowe with the other. Their manager, Marco Silva, afterwards, I think he was asked about his passion for this particular competition.
Your record, Marco, in the third round of the FA Cup is outrageous. It's 100% now, isn't it? 8 out of 8 with all the clubs you've been at in England. And you're into the fourth round. You're sitting very pretty in the Premier League table. This is a chance, isn't it? Come on, have a big crack. The Fulham fans would love to hear it.
No, this is... I never ride myself in this competition. Doesn't matter... if you are the biggest contenders or not, and you are not, we know that. But I think any Premier League side should dream to be there or should aim to be there in the last game of the competition. Not a dream, really, a goal to be there. And we are in the same page than the others. You want to go as far as you can be, and the clear to look for the final of the competition. You know that we have to go step by step. We have to, depending from the draw, we can be lucky, you can be a little bit more unlucky. But the reality that we have the aim to go there. If it's going to happen or not, I don't know. But of course, in this journey we have been changing even the approach for this type of the winning mentality sometimes in this type of competitions as well. The reality that every season, or Carabao Cup or FA Cup, we are reaching at least the quarters final as well in both competitions, at least once a season. Want to go as further as you can be. Let's see what is going to be the draw is going to give us, and after you have to prepare that game in the best way possible.
Total Sport Live.
BBC Radio London.
Well, who's going to be happiest in about 45-50 minutes' time? Or is it going to be longer? We'll have to wait and see. At the Valley, of course, could go to extra time and penalties. Some of the games did today. The likes of Newcastle against Bournemouth went to extra time. Everton against Sunderland, likewise. It's only a narrow lead for Chelsea. 1-0 up against Charlton Athletic going into the second half at the Valley. The Addicts from the Championship against Chelsea in Liam Rosenior's first game in charge. A stunning strike just on the stroke at half-time, giving them the lead. Chelsea are out for the start of the second half, and Charlton are about to emerge out of the tunnel as well. Let's go back to our commentary team. Johnny Jackson, the former Charlton skipper, and the AFC Wimbledon manager, and, Louis Mendes alongside him, welcoming Charlton back out onto the pitch for the second half, Louis.
Cheers, Phil. Yeah, the Addicts are just re-emerging from the tunnel here in the West Stand. Chelsea have been out for 30 seconds or so, so it's the Blues who have the lead. Jarrell Hato's first goal for Chelsea right on the stroke of half-time. A lovely left-footed volley that ripped in to the top corner beyond Will Mannion. So a narrow lead for the Premier League side at the break. As Phil mentioned, Liam Rosenior's first game in charge. Nathan Jones is coming back out of the dressing rooms as well. The Addicts manager, he does know Rosenior well from their time together at Brighton. So the Addicts back onto the field of play. Can't see any changes made by either manager at half time, so I'm going to try and find a way back into this tie. As Phil mentioned, alongside me is the former Addicts manager and current Wimbledon manager Johnny Jackson. Johnny, you see a way back into this tie for the Addicts? There's always a chance in the FA Cup at 1-0, isn't there?
Yeah, of course. I was just speaking to Phil at the end of the half. It's important that Charlton don't concede next, of course, and you don't have to go and get back in the game straight away. Stay in the game, make sure Chelsea don't get a second, and I'm sure there'll be one or two moments in this second half where they feel like they can get at Chelsea. Definitely from those sort of set-piece situations, I think is a big
early chance here for the Addicts. The ball goes into the area and Kelman has it on the right-hand edge, pulls it back across. Leeburn almost there, and the clearance rebounds off Carey as well, but drops over the crossbar behind for the goal kick. So a half sight of goal there for the Addicts. Charlton just couldn't find the shot on target. I'll run you through the two sides shortly. And Chelsea have the goal kick, so I'll tell you now. In fact, Mannion in goal for Charlton Athletic, who are now shooting towards the covered end in this second half. And Goff, Jones and Bell across the back three. Bree and Campbell are the wing backs for the Addicts. Coventry, Doherty and Carey in the middle of the park behind Leeburn and Kelman. Up top, Jorgensen in goal for Chelsea. Have the ball on the halfway line now with Caicedo, Hato, Badiashile, Tosin and Ashapong across the back for us. Chelsea move down the right hand side here, looking to create an early chance with Gittins now, corner of the penalty area. Ball brings the ball onto his left, then onto his right, gets a shot towards the far post. Here's a big chance for Chelsea. It's a block that comes in, and Chelsea appealing for a penalty there as the sliding challenge came in from Keenan Goff, but it's a wonderful block, and in the end goes out for a throw on that far side.
Yeah, Chelsea won a pen, but I just think it's really good defending from Charlton. Gittins causing problems, goes for that far corner but doesn't quite get hold of his shot, but it turns out to be a really good low cross to the far post, and there's a bit of a scramble. Charlton put their bodies on the line. I think it's Goff in the end that makes a brilliant block. Chelsea appealing for a penalty, whether it was a hand or they felt there was a foul in there, but for me just really good defending from the young lad.
Charlton pick the ball up on the halfway line here with the Addict skipper Greg Doherty. He's forced to go back though as a turnover possession, and every red shirt really was behind the ball, so they have it back in the left back position with Amari Bell over towards the left hand touchline, and Campbell for the Addicts. Back to Bell once more, and he's forced all the way back to Charlton's goalkeeper Will Mannion in his all green strip. It's his second start of the season here as Leeburn battles away and wins possession on halfway here for Charlton. He'll bring it forward down the left-hand channel, cuts in onto his right foot, threads the ball across to Sonny Carey, gets it stuck under his feet, but he'll pick up possession once more, gets it over to the right-hand side, couldn't feed Bree, who was forward there, and Chelsea will bring it away. He was open there on that far side, Bree, but Carey just couldn't get the ball out of his feet, and when he finally did, the pass was not the one he wanted. It was cut out by the Chelsea man on that far side, and Chelsea just slow the game down again on the halfway line. They're in no rush here with the lead. They grabbed right at the end of the first half, Chelsea, and they come all the way back to Ashampong, and just a simple ball inside to Tosin.
Shame there, Louis. I think Carey could have got his shot off there. I think Charlton need to take those sort of opportunities. Leeburn does great down in the left hand side, finds Carey centrally and chance to get his shot off, but turned it down and then couldn't quite work his feet out properly.
Here come Chelsea down the right hand side. Gittins, well, he's given a free kick there. Campbell won the ball with a challenge, but the official said that was unfair, the challenge on Gittins on this near side. So Chelsea free kick in line with the Addicts penalty area on the right hand side. Garnaccio's coming across to have a look at this one. It's in a crossing position. Buonanotte is in attendance as well on this right hand side. The referee Chris Kavanagh just pacing out the 10 steps for the Addicts wall. Nearly 4 minutes gone in this second half here on BBC Radio London. FA Cup third round here at the Valley. London derby. Charlton 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea had the lead right on the stroke of half time. They've got a chance to try and extend it here with this free kick on the right hand side. It's going to be Buonanotte to whip it in for the Blues. Senior watching on from the edge of his technical area. Buonanotte with the free kick, floats it in and it's headed towards goal by Tosin. Completely unmarked, and it's a goal, a second goal for Chelsea. As simple as you like for the Premier League side. And Chelsea double their lead 5 minutes into the second half. It's Charlton 0, Chelsea 2.
Yeah, really simple goal from Chelsea's point of view. Disappointing defending from Charlton. It's a ball whipped in by Buonanotte. It's got a lot of pace on it. It's not high. It's one of those that you would expect to be cut out of that near post, but it's Tosin just creeps in. He's in that near post area. He's unmarked. For some reason, no one near him. Charlton defenders just on their heels. Has to be picked up in that situation. It's the easiest of headers. All he has to do, the pace is on the ball, the delivery. It's a wicked ball in with that pace and that dip, and he just needs to let it hit his head, and as soon as it does, he's probably only 4 or 5 yards out from goal, and Mannion has absolutely no chance of saving it.
First goal of the season for Tosin Adarabioyo. Simply this one he's going to score this season as well. The header from 6 yards out, so Chelsea double their lead right at the start of this second half. And as it stands, it looks like we won't be seeing another big scalp in the FA Cup here on BBC Radio London today. As Charlton look for a way back down the left-hand side. Doherty goes down, and he's been given a free kick here midway through the Chelsea half, left-hand channel. So a chance for the Addicts to try and whip in a set piece of their own to try and find a way back into this contest. Amari Bell over on the left-hand side. Chelsea fans to our right-hand side in the Jimmy Seed stand. Sold out away end here. Short trip from West London to South East, but they're in good voice now with their side 2-0 up here. Free kick taken quickly to Bree. Given to Campbell now into the box. Floated cross towards the far side. Headed back in towards the middle, but it's put wide in the end. Jones and Goff both attacked it on that far side. I think it was Lloyd Jones who won the header. Couldn't direct it towards goal, and it drifts wide out for a goal kick on that far side. It's still 2-0 to Chelsea here on BBC Radio London.
Yeah, it looked like Goff and Jones perhaps got in each other's way at the back post there. It's Campbell down the left-hand side, goes on the outside. That little dink cross on his left foot to the far post, and Jones is coming in, and it's an opportunity for the big man. That's where you want him. That's who you want really arriving, him or Levan in that situation. And Goff, they're both still up from the set-piece situation. Just got in each other's way, and Jones couldn't get anything on his header in the end.
Chelsea have the ball on the halfway line with Jamie Gittins. Brings the ball into the Addicts half now. Goes beyond Conor Coventry now. Driving towards the edge of the box. Still going. Bell gets the foot in there, and it rebounds off Carey into the arms of Will Mannion. It's been breached twice on his return to the side here in between the sticks. Played such a big part in Charlton's promotion from League One at the end of last season. So Murray Bell has the ball in his left back position and just wins a free kick there off Gittins to relieve some pressure on that Addicts back line. So Will Mannion will come out of his area to take this free kick on the near side. Chelsea fans in jubilant mood here. They see their side leading by 2-0. Liam Rosenior up on the edge of his technical area at the moment, just giving out some instructions. I think I can see Callum McFarlane alongside him there. He's been promoted to the first team coaching role following his stint with the 21s and his caretaker stint in charge during the week, as Chelsea looks to try and counter here, and the ball goes over to the left hand side, and Garnacho now is driving towards the edge of the box up against Goff. Garnacho onto his right foot, curls it, and it's just beyond the far side of the post and drifts behind for a goal kick. For a second there, some of those Chelsea fans behind the goal in the Jimmy Seed stand thought that was a third, but it drifts behind, still 2-0.
Yeah, it looked really close from up here, just expecting that net to bowl. Just Garnacho driving at young Goff in the right centre-back position. He's just looking to jink inside and open his body up and curl it into that far top corner, and you just, like I say, expected the net to bowl. But Mannion at full stretch looks like it must have just whisked wide of the post. Really close. Probably the best we've seen from Garnacho so far in the game.
Score in the FA Cup final when Manchester United beat their city rivals Manchester City a couple of years ago. Came close to adding another goal to his FA Cup tally there, but it drifts wide, and Charlton with some defending to do again, but Lloyd Jones will lift it up towards the halfway line. Tosin heads it back towards the edge of the box. There's a chance here for Chelsea once more in the area. In comes a low cross, hacked away by Goff. It was a good ball out as well, actually, to Doherty. He'll just touch it back to Campbell, and he's launched it up towards the halfway line, but Santos takes over again for Chelsea. Leeburn able to pick up the pieces though, but again there's another turnover in the centre of the pitch, and Santos has it again for Chelsea. Back towards the halfway line it goes, in Ashampong, and now Tosin inside the Chelsea half, the scorer of the Blues' second goal here. They lead by 2-0 here on BBC Radio London. FA Cup third round. It's a London derby under the lights here in South East London. It's absolutely freezing. It has been all night, but Chelsea are serving up a display that will warm their travelling supporters. They look to send the ball towards the edge of the box once more now. Left hand edge, hacked away in the middle. It was Hato, the scorer of the first goal, who tried to centre that, but Charlton were able to clear up towards halfway line. They have it again with Santos, who dropped deep, but his ball is cut out by Bree, and out for a Chelsea throw on that far side in front of the Alan Kirbishley stand here at the Valley. Sell out here in SC7, biggest crowd here in the FA Cup for 50 years, since a tie against Portsmouth back in the 70s. Ball forward for Chelsea, offside flag though up against Jamie Gittins on this near side. 10 minutes into the second half, and Chelsea lead by 2-0. Don't forget, we've got coverage of West Ham against Queen's Park Rangers from the London Stadium tomorrow in the FA Cup third round again. 94.9 FM, BBC Sounds, and on your smart speaker. Coverage from 2 o'clock in that London derby. We feel the home side could do with a result in any way, shape or form in that one. The QPR, backed by massive travelling support, will be going there looking for an upset. As Charlton send the free kick forward, Leeburn will head it down. It'll be picked up by Campbell on the edge of the penalty area here for the Addicts. Can he find a way through here? Tyrese Campbell dinks across towards the far post. Leeburn heads it down. It's going to be fired towards goal by Kelman. It's blocked behind in the end. Chance almost presented itself for Bree as well. Kelman eventually got the shot, and it's blocked, and I think that's drifted behind for the Addicts' third corner of the game.
Yeah, probably Charlton's best moment so far. Great ball in from Tyrese Campbell, floated towards that far post. It's Leeburn there. You thought he might go for goal, but he just looked for that head back across. Carey was there, couldn't quite get connection with it. Carey sort of misses it, if anything, falls to Kelman, and Chelsea were able to make the block, but really good opening there for Charlton.
Can Charlton reignite this cup tie? Corner from Bree, over it goes towards the far side, headed down. Oh, it's a wonderful save. Leeburn is in. Charlton have a goal back. Miles Leeburn on the rebound. This cup tie is alive and kicking once again. The Championship side are back in this game. It's Leeburn against his former side. It's Charlton 1, Chelsea 2.
Yeah, it's game on here at the Valley. Place has just erupted. Spoke at half-time about those set-piece situations being an opportunity for Charlton, and so it's proved. Really good ball in from the left-hand side, and again Leeburn's up. I think it was Jones up first of all with a header. Goalkeeper makes a brilliant save, but can only parry it into Leeburn's path, and the striker can't really miss. He's 2-3 yards out and drills it home on his right foot, and it's game on here at the Valley.
And Miles Leeburn, who spent a number of years in the Chelsea academy, it's a goal back for the Addicts against his former side. Charlton back in this cup tie here on BBC Radio London. Charlton 1, Chelsea 2. Still plenty of time to run in this one. Still over half an hour of normal time to go in this second half. The Addicts have a foothold in this game. Charlton 1, Chelsea 2. Chelsea have the ball on the halfway line. Over towards the right-hand side, and Gittins it comes. Chelsea just trying to slow the game down as well. Jorgensen so unlucky there. The save in the build-up to that goal was a spectacular save from the header that looked destined for the far corner, but Leeburn gobbled up the rebound and trying to back in this cup tie. Chelsea playing the ball around inside the Addicts half though, and they're forced back towards the halfway line. Hato had it. It's Ashampong now over on this right-hand side. Back to Tosin. Chelsea just trying to take a bit of a sting out of the game. Some work here to do now for Liam Rosenior in his first game in charge. There's going to be a break in play here actually, because a smoke bomb has just been launched onto the pitch from the covered end. So the referee, Chris Kavanagh, has asked for the game to be stopped until someone can find a bucket and some sand. There's a man pointing at it at the moment. He's gone to pick it up, and here comes the bucket, Jacko.
There we go. Yeah, I don't think that's the first smoke bomb that's been thrown from the covered end. So they're well briefed on what to do. Yeah, get off. All adds to the atmosphere though, Lou. Crowd are up now. Buoyed on by that goal from Leeburn back in the game. Could have easily got away from Charlton, you felt, at 2-0, and Chelsea looked like they're in the ascendancy and might go on and get a third, but scoring there really has changed the complexion of this cup tie.
Here come Chelsea though down the right hand side with Gittins trying to re-establish their 2-goal lead. Gittins into the penalty area, forced back, and Doherty gets in the way. Chelsea trying to find a way to eke out a chance here with Caicedo now on the edge of the box. Buonanotte plays the ball across towards the far side, but Bree will pick it up for Charlton, who are right back in this cup tie now at 2-1. Coventry, ball in between the lines for Carey, who's going to bring it over the halfway line for Charlton now, sends the ball forward, and it's going to be picked up on this left hand side by Tyrese Campbell, who's got space to run into here. The Addicts crowd are up in the covered end. Campbell driving into the box, left hand side, in comes a cross, it's a low cross cut out of the near post, out as far as Amari Bell. Bell just dallies on it a little bit too much, but he's able to keep possession of the ball and get it back to Connor Coventry, and Charlton will come again as they work it back to Jones in the centre circle, over towards the far side, and Goff down the touchline for Bree. Addicts with their tails up now at this moment in time. They're back in this game. Have to go all the way back to Will Mannion, coming up to the hour mark. Charlton 1, Chelsea 2. Leeburn with the goal back for the Addicts. He's trying to win a header there on the halfway line, loses out to Tosin, and Chelsea will pick it up again now with Gittins, who's got space to operate inside the Addicts penalty area. Caicedo back to Buonanotte, now driving towards the edge of the Charlton penalty area. Caicedo once more, across it goes to Santos, and now they work it over to Garnacho on that left hand side. Nearly made it 3-0 shortly before Charlton got their goal back, and Garnacho pulls it back, edge of the box, prodded towards goal by Caicedo. Bell will clear, and it's lifted over the bar by Santos, sat out for him on the edge of the box. He couldn't help himself but to have a shot there, but he leans back and lifts it over the crossbar. It's still Charlton 1, Chelsea 2.
Yeah, decent chance there for Caicedo. Garnacho, every time he gets the ball, he's looking to run at Bree or Goff in that channel, either jink it to get a shot in or cross. This time it's a pullback, it's a left-footed pullback cross, and Caicedo arriving edge of the box, but sort of gets his technique wrong. He goes for the outside of the right boot when really he'd be better off maybe putting his laces.
Here come the Addicts again now. Leeburn holds it up, and Kelman will roll it forward, looking for the run of Carey. Just well read though by the Chelsea defence, and they give it back to Jorgensen, who's under pressure from Leeburn and has to fire the ball up towards the halfway line quickly, where Garnacho does really well to come away with it after a battle with Goff and Coventry, and that's some fantastic pace from Garnacho on that far side, driving into the penalty area here for Chelsea, onto his right for a shooting chance, edge of the box, deflected, it's volleyed back towards goal, and Chelsea re-established their 2-goal lead. It's Mark Guillot who got the rebound. Garnacho's ball inside, the first shot was blocked by Will Mannion, but Guillot was there to fire home and re-establish the 2-goal cushion for Chelsea. It's Charlton 1, Chelsea 3.
Yeah, Garnacho again down the left-hand side. He started to really come into the game this last 5-10 minutes, be a real threat. He had a lot of grass in front of him, opened his legs, that pace that he's got, he jinked inside on his right foot. Low, hard shot. Mannion makes a good save straight at him, but the ball just ricochets into Guillot's path, and he's got the simplest of tasks to strike. You wonder whether he might have been offside, hoping he might have been offside, the Charlton defence, as the shot came in from Garnacho, but was just in line. Ball falls to the striker, and similar with Leeburn's chance, can't really miss from there, and Chelsea re-established the 2-goal lead.
Chelsea lead by 3-1 here then, just 6 minutes after the Addicts were back into this game. Chelsea have re-established that daylight, 2-goal cushion now above their championship hosts, and Charlton trying to battle away on the edge of the penalty area. And Chelsea able to clear 2. Garnacho has been well involved in this game, played a big part in Chelsea's third goal there, but it's a loose ball at the back now, and Kelman picks it off for Charlton, and Coventry will take over once more. The Addicts have it on that right hand side with Bree, feeds it back inside to Coventry, threads the ball down the line for Doherty by the corner flag and digs out a great cross towards the near side, but Jorgensen under pressure from Kelman goes down and wins a free kick. And well, Tosin not so happy with the Addicts striker's attempt to go for the ball there. It wasn't much in it, but he had to try and challenge for it. The goalkeeper's ended up down off the pitch, but he's fine now, he's back on his feet. And Chelsea eventually will have this free kick just inside their own 6-yard box.
Yeah, I don't know what they complained about. had to go for the ball, Kelman. I don't even think he realised that the goalkeeper was on his blind side. He's just trying to attack the cross from Doherty. The goalkeeper comes across and claims it really well, and Kelman's momentum just runs into the goalkeeper, knocks him off the pitch. The referee gives a free kick. Everyone should be happy, but Tosin wants to make a big deal of it.
Well, it was Guiu's third goal of the season, first of which came for Sunderland in his short-lived loan spell at the Stadium of Light at the start of the campaign. Also scored against Ajax in the Champions League as Chelsea try and put Amari Bell under pressure. He rolls it back to Will Mannion, the Addicks goalkeeper. Chelsea leading by 3-1 here on BBC Radio London. Forward it goes. Leeburn, the Addicks goal scorer, can't win his header, but Charlton will pick up the pieces with Carey. Down the line it goes, and that's excellent strength from Leeburn, but the official on that far side said it was an unfair movement of the body and gives a foul to Chelsea midway through the Chelsea half. Charlton fans didn't agree with that decision, and nor did Miles Leeburn, who's in conversation with the official on that far side. Something just thrown in his direction from the stand as well, which we don't want to see. But the argument is over, and Chelsea will have this free kick in front of the Alan Kirbishley stand on that far side. 65 minutes on the clock. There's a range of substitutions being readied here for both sides. I can see Gillespie, Anderson and Rankin Costello getting ready to come on for the Addicks. And Chelsea making a change of their own. Esteval coming on for Chelsea, the Brazilian youngster. And Gittins, who makes way. Jamie Gittins replaced by Esteval. And Gittins seems to know Croy Anderson, the Addicks youngster there, because they had an embrace as they came off there. But the Addicks going to make their first of 3 changes as Macaulay Gillespie is coming on for Charlie Kelman. Gillespie has scored a FA Cup goal against Chelsea for Plymouth in a 2-1 defeat at the Bridge a few years ago. Connor Coventry makes way as well. Joe Rankin Costello coming on for the Addicks. It'll be Karoy Anderson as well, the third substitution. Greg Doherty making way for Charlton Athletic. So the Addicks skipper, who was on a yellow card in that first half, will make way as well. Anderson onto the field of play along with Rankin Costello and Gillespie for the Addicks. Esteval, we've heard plenty about him. He looks a very exciting player from what I've seen, so I'm sure the Chelsea fans will be pleased to see him get half an hour here at the Valley. Johnny?
Yeah, I think they will be, and I think Charlton's change is probably going to help with that, because he's going to play out here on the right hand side. It looks like Amari Bell's now going to play in that left wing back position, and Tyrese Campbell's gone up front now with Leeburn, so you see Bell being a little bit stronger defensively than what Campbell would be, to try and nullify the threats of Esteval and get Campbell further upfield, closer to Leeburn, where maybe he can affect and create a chance for Charlton in that attacking third.
Yeah, Gillespie is coming to the back 3 with Bell over on that left hand side. He'll have his work cut out now against Esteval. And Charlton trying to find a way back into this game. The ball goes back to Jorgensen, the Chelsea goalkeeper, who's taken a touch there again under pressure from Leeburn, but he was right to do so as he's able to get it over towards the far side, and Chelsea can come away with the ball. Is a foul in the middle of the park from Anderson. It's just come off the bench there, and so Chelsea will have a free kick. You can just see the mist just rolling into the valley here. And it's reflecting in the floodlights here. We've got 22 minutes or so to go. It is very, very cold in South East London. I'm sure it is wherever you're listening to this in the capital here on BBC Radio London. Chelsea lead this FA Cup tie by 3-1. Charlton looked like they were putting up a bit of a fight when Leeburn cut the deficit from 2-1 early in this second half, but Chelsea just 6 minutes later with their third goal, making it 3-1 on Liam Rosenior's first game in charge. Gillespie, the Addicks centre-half, as I mentioned, scored a header at the Bridge for Plymouth a few seasons ago in a game they only narrowly lost by 2-1, and they did have a penalty that they missed with Ryan Hardy later on. He took your Wimbledon side to the Bridge, was it last season, Johnny, and had a fantastic start there before losing in the end.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Didn't see that one through in the end. We're trying to give it away a free kick midway through the Chelsea half.
So Enzo and Delap are getting ready to come on as well. So some big guns being unleashed here by Liam Rossigna. Buonanotte, one of those players to make way. As Enzo Fernandez come on, and Liam Delap, who of course got Chelsea's goal in the defeat at Craven Cottage in midweek, will also come on. And it's the scorer of Chelsea's third goal, Mark Yu, who will make way for Delap, the former Ipswich man, who will take his place up top for Chelsea. So Liam Rossigna getting a good look at some of his big name players here, Johnny.
Yeah, I did wonder whether he might look at it as an opportunity. Now they got the third goal to give the likes of Enzo a night off. They like save their legs for maybe the big games coming up. But I think it probably shows the state of the game and how Charlton have done in the second half. Although Chelsea have got that 2-goal lead, Charlton have certainly been in it, and one more goal changes the complexion again. So Rossigna taking no chances, bringing the big guns on, Esteval, Delap, Enzo, to try and see this job through now for Chelsea.
And Charlton travelled to Manchester United in the League Cup quarter-final a couple of years ago. It was only in the last half an hour where United really got away from the Addicts, and that's when they brought on the likes of Casemiro and players of his ilk. I think Ericsson came on at that point as well, and Rashford got a brace towards the end of that game. So Charlton 3-1 down here, but one goal, as Johnny Jackson, the AFC Wimbledon boss alongside me says, can change the complexion again. Chelsea in comfortable possession here with Ashampong at their defensive line. Across it goes to Tosin. Tosin again. Now just send it over to the far side, and Hato score the opening goal here for Chelsea. 20 minutes left to go here on BBC Radio London. Inside it goes to Caicedo. 1-2 here. Lovely football as Fernandez gets a touch, and now they work it over to the right-hand side. Esteval into the box onto his left foot, thinks about the curler, shot is charged down by Bell, but he'll sit up kindly for a shot on the edge of the area, edge of the 6-yard box I should say. It was blocked in the ends by Will Mannion. I think it was Enzo who just popped up there 6 yards out, but Mannion managed to get a foot on it, and Chelsea are forced all the way back to the goalkeeper Jurgensen. Esteval has it in the middle of the park. Esteval now up against Bell, plays a 1-2 with Fernandez. Enzo now, Esteval into the box now, sit up kindly, the fancy footwork into the area, good challenge though from Lloyd Jones. Delap and Esteval will keep it in play on this right hand side though. Inside it goes to Enzo Fernandez. There's a break in play here though, and in fact the Chelsea players have kicked the ball out because Amari Bell has gone down hurt on the edge of the area, which is one thing Nathan Jones certainly wouldn't have wanted to see this evening. He's had a couple of spells out of the side with injuries, came back for the game at Coventry towards the end of November. His first game back, played really well for half an hour and then went out injured and was gone for another month or so. That's your worst nightmare in a cup game like this, isn't it, Johnny?
Yeah, it's especially at this stage of the game now. It looks like he's holding his hamstring there, maybe, hopefully maybe a bit of cramp where he's got long come back, but the worry is that's a hamstring there. He's gone down clutching that and looks in a little bit of discomfort at this stage of the game. I'd be bitterly disappointed obviously if Charlton can't get back into the tie. The last thing they want to do also is to lose any players, especially key players like Bell through injury. So getting the treatment now, hopefully he's going to be okay. They're trying to get him to his feet now. We should find out a little bit more about how he's moving. It doesn't seem to be moving too well. I think he's done his hamstring there, Lou. I know that little waddle. I've done that little waddle off the pitch myself before, where you're sort of dragging your leg behind you because he's damaged that hamstring muscle. Looks like his left hamstring, and that's bitterly disappointing for him and for Charlton.
Yeah, that's exactly what Nathan Jones didn't want. He's played such an important role in the Addicts' defence when fit this season. It's a friendly handshake from Esteval as he comes off there, but Amari Bell limping towards this near touchline, so 2 spells out already. Ashampong gives him a high five as well, but that'll be bad news for Nathan Jones. He is targeting a left-sided defender in the January transfer window, and he'll be hoping now he can get one in before next Saturday's crucial championship game here at the Valley against Sheffield United. But Amari Bell is who makes way. There's Tanto Alafe the forward who will come on. So I suspect we'll see Tyrese Campbell drift straight back to that left wing back role that he only departed for about 5 minutes.
22, Olafe.
Olafe, the former Millwall man, comes on for the Addicts. Gillespie in that left-sided centre-back role anyway, since Campbell's gone forward, but Olafe will go up top. Campbell back into the left wing back role. We're back underway now, and Chelsea have the ball on the halfway line. Cut back inside. Ashimpong it was. Back it goes to Tosin, scorer of Chelsea's second goal in this 3-1 lead here at the Valley in the third round of the FA Cup. Esteval now has it up against Tyrese Campbell, young Brazilian. Forced to go back to Ashimpong, and then they'll just keep possession of the ball here with Tosin. Rolls it in between the lines to Enzo. Enzo chips the ball over the top. It's a wonderful pass into Esteval. Into the box he goes. Onto his right foot, fires. It's a good save by Mannion at his near post. Shot was high in towards the near side of the goal, but Mannion got two palms behind it and puts it behind for a Chelsea corner.
Yeah, good save from Mannion, but it's looked so bright since he's come on. Esteval down this right-hand side, and now he's up against Tyrese Campbell. Just ducks inside, but little run in behind, and little floated ball. He gets into the penalty box, takes it onto his right foot, narrow angle, goes for high, goes roof of the net, and Mannion's there to tip it over the bar, but he's looked really exciting since he's come on, Esteval.
Corner taken short, and they have it again on the right-hand side with Enzo. Right-hand edge of the penalty area for Chelsea. Cuts back inside to Caicedo. Enzo once more, edge of the box, digs out across towards that far post. The Charlton head is clear, and I think it was Gillespie on that far side. That's picked up by Ashimpong, who's in the left-hand side of the pitch for Chelsea at the moment. Santos back inside to Caicedo's, just sat inside the centre circle. Enzo now threads the ball through, looking for Delap. He got away from Lloyd Jones. There's just too much on that ball there, and it'll be picked up by the Addicts goalkeeper Mannion. He came out of his 6-yard box. He's limping a little bit now as well, the Addicts goalkeeper, after diving on that ball, but he rolls it out to Gillespie. He'll just send it across the penalty area there to Lloyd Jones. 3-1 to Chelsea here in the London Derby in the third round of the FA Cup. And the ball out from Anderson, was looking for Carey, but he couldn't send that over to the far side. Now the ball is lifted towards the edge of the Addicts penalty area. Charlton defend it well though, and Carey will take over once more. Out to the right hand side it goes, and Bree inside to Goff, and now there's a ball up towards the halfway line where Carey will bring it forward. Over to the right hand side, and Olafe fresh off the bench. In comes a low cross towards the near post, looking for Leeburn, but it's cut out by Tosin, and Chelsea will clear and they come away with it. Although it's a poor ball out, which Goff will take on for the Addicts. Gives it to Carey. The ball back to Goff though, was a bit behind him, and he's forced back into the Charlton half where Jones will take over now. Gillespie, you can see the vapour coming out of all the Charlton players' breath as they have possession of the ball. It's so cold here at the Valley as Rankin Costello now has it in the forward position on the left hand side. It goes to Campbell, back inside to Anderson. Charlton Academy products linking up there, but he has to go all the way back to halfway, and Gillespie. Anderson once more for the Addicts on the halfway line. Gillespie turns it inside to Rankin Costello. Got his first Addicts goal in the last home game here against Coventry on New Year's Day. That 1-1 draw against the Championship leaders. Leeburn has possession of the ball there, but he loses out, and Chelsea will come again with Enzo Fernandez on the halfway line. Enzo driving towards the edge of the box. Esteval now onto the box, wants to get onto his left foot, sends it out wide to Fernandez. Oh, and it's probably wide by Delap, and that was a really presentable opportunity there. And Delap really should be at least making Mannion work there. He mishits it and it drifts wide of the far post.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sitter really, Louis. It's great play from Chelsea. Again, Esteval down this right-hand side. Campbell caught upfield. With Enzo on a little overlap. He slides him down the side, and Enzo's ball across. It's just that little pull back across the Delap, who's sort of probably between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box in the middle of the goal. And you're thinking any sort of contact's going to... Certainly he's got to be hitting the target. He's got to make Mannion make a save, but if he gets hold of that, it should be a certain goal really, and just completely miscues his shot wide. Great chance for Delap to come on and get his name on the score sheet. He'd be really disappointed with that one.
He scored in midweek, but he couldn't do that. Chelsea have the ball back with the goalkeeper. The mist really is coming down here at the Valley. It's
call it off, Louis.
Yeah, it's obscuring my view of the Alan Kirbysley stand on that far side. And it does remind me of that famous Sam Bartram story in a game, the famous Charlton goalkeeper. He's got a statue of him outside the Valley. A game got abandoned away at Chelsea, funny enough, and no one told him, and he was stuck out there waiting for about 15 minutes, thinking Charlton were having a great attacking spell. As here come the Addicts now. Low cross from the right hand side from Bree, just out for a throw on that far side. Chelsea got the block on it. Yet Sam Bartram was just left on the pitch while all the players went into the dressing room. The game was abandoned. He didn't see the ball for 15 minutes and thought, blimey, we're doing really well here, before someone came and told him. As Charlton take the throw in, comes out to Anderson, who tries to take it beyond his man, but is picked off, and then Garnacho will launch a counter-attack now, and it's threaded forward by Enzo Fernandez to Estevao, edge of the box, onto his right foot, into the penalty area he goes. It's saved again by Mannion. The shot wasn't really towards the corner. Clearance, though, only picked up by Enzo Fernandez, edge of the box, and that is a good save. Tried to lift it over the goalkeeper with a strike. Mannion palms it into the Chelsea fans in the Jimmy Seed stand. It's another Chelsea corner. They lead here on BBC Radio London by 3-1.
Yeah, Mannion's earning his money now. A couple of good saves again from the goalkeeper, who looks like he's hurt. Campbell's down, hurt, and that's what allowed Chelsea to actually break down this right-hand side, because Campbell was down looking for treatment, but I don't think his own teammates realised. They carried on playing, the ball turned over, and Chelsea were on the counter-attack, and 2 opportunities to score. Estevao shot on his right foot straight at Mannion. He saves. Ball comes back out to Enzo. Probably could have passed. Garnacho wanted the ball squared to him. He was all alone, but Enzo takes it on. That dipping shot, and Mannion tips the ball over the bar. But see Chelsea piling it on at the minute, looking to get that fourth and really kill this tie now.
Tyrese Campbell still down on this near side. The physio team are working on his right leg, lifting it up in the way you would do if it was cramped, so Charlton fans will be hoping that is the case. So we'll be waiting for this corner to be taken, and I'm not being funny, Johnny, but I can't actually see who's taking the corner from this far side. The mist really is starting to play its part here at the Valley. Yeah. There's still 10 minutes of normal time left to go. If this gets any worse,
in Louis, then could get unsafe. You can't see the far side of that pitch, then it could get a little bit close for comfort.
Played your part in a game that famously got called off here when at waterlogged pitch. Was it Doncaster?
I don't know what you mean. I don't know.
I had a photo of you pouring an extra bottle onto the pitch.
In that whatsoever.
But to be Doncaster fans, not fond memories of that game. That game got abandoned with them leading.
I think they got away with one, Louis, because we was on the comeback that night. We pulled one back. It looked like it was all Charlton. We only needed another 4 to get something out.
Yeah,
of the game.
and eventually when the game got replayed, Charlton won that game, and Doncaster went down on goal difference that season. Charlton stayed up comfortably. Harvey Nibbs has come on now for Tyrese Campbell. Well, Nathan Jones will be desperate that he isn't injured as well. Harvey Nibbs into the Charlton side, scored what looked like it was a late leveller at Portsmouth recently, only for Charlton to go down and concede at the other end almost immediately. Chelsea will finally take this corner, and it comes from the far side. It's headed away by Rankin Costello, still not clear though on the edge of the box. Charlton eventually will clear though with Karen. It just pumps it up into the air. There's a foot race here, and Tanto Alafe is going to try and get there before everyone. Jorgensen comes all the way out of his goal, and you have to say that's excellent goalkeeping. Heads the ball up into the air and then very calmly just plays it to a Chelsea shirt and gets away with it, as then Chapon will bring the ball over the halfway line for Chelsea. Back inside it goes to Caicedo. Missed a penalty in a penalty shootout here for Brighton, but it doesn't look like the visitors are going to need one this evening, with Chelsea leading by 3-1 into the final 8 minutes or so. A couple of substitutions being lined up for Chelsea as well, for Fana and Neto getting ready to come on for the visitors. But the ball's still in play at the moment. And Chelsea have it on this right-hand side with Estevao. Oh, it's a wonderful ball in towards the penalty area, headed down. Delap now with a chance. Oh, it's a great block there from Keenan Goff, the Addicts youngster. And that was a big chance for Delap, but it was a wonderful block, and Charlton will try and bring the ball away in the middle of the park. Can't get there though. And Charlton have it again. It's a lovely touch inside from Bree, and now Carey will drive forward. Can Charlton work their way back into the tie once more? Carey into the box, left-footed strike, takes a big deflection, and Jorgensen palms it away to try and prevent it going out for a corner. He does really well there, but it's a slip in the Charlton back line. Gillespie will go for goal from range. Well, that was incredible, really. The ball out from the goalkeeper, picked up on the left-hand side by Gillespie after Esteval just slipped as he came to take it. Jorgensen was over on the edge of his box. Gillespie tried to strike towards goal, but the goalkeeper did enough to get back into the middle and to prevent the Addicts from getting another goal back.
Yeah, it's unlucky from Gillespie. Goalkeeper's been brilliant tonight for Chelsea, got to say. The way he's swept up, how good he's been with his feet. He was there again to sweep up and plays a pass down the line for Esteval, who just loses his footing. Now the goal's completely empty. Gillespie takes it on. He's good 35 yards from goal, and Jorgensen was able to get back in and make the save. Great strike from Gillespie to take it on.
It really was. Right, looks like Chelsea are going to make these 2 substitutions now on this near side. So Pedro Neto, one of the players coming on. Alejandro Garnacho getting roundly booed by the Charlton fans all afternoon. I haven't been able to work out why yet, but did play against the Addicts a couple of years ago in the League Cup. But he makes way for Pedro Neto. Wesley Fofana coming on as well for the Blues. And he's onto the field of play now. Is that Ashapong who's come off for him? In fact, it was the goal scorer of the first goal, Hato, who came off. Charlton have a throw in on this near side. Gillespie's going to come to take. It's midway through the Chelsea half with 6 minutes from the end of the 90 here on BBC Radio London in this FA Cup third round London derby. It's Charlton 1, Chelsea 3. Liam Rosenior's first game going to plan as it stands, but Anderson's ball towards the edge of the box is headed clear by Chelsea. Excellent work by Carey to win it back there, and Alafe has it on the right hand side, pulled back towards Lloyd Jones, who goes down in the penalty area under a challenge, and the referee says it was a fair challenge and Chelsea will come away with the ball.
Close one. Close one. My gut says that he maybe just got there in time. The defender Lloyd Jones was just about to unleash a shot from Alafe's pullback. I think the defender just got his toe there in time, but split second later and
Chelsea
fouling Jones.
Down the other end with Esteval, shot deflected, and Mannion readjusts and makes the save, and Charlton are able to clear it. Header back in towards the left-hand side of the Charlton penalty area, and Chelsea do keep the ball in play on that far side. It nearly drifted out, I think, in the midst of the mist and the fog that is descending upon us here in South East London. Got to drive home yet, Jacko? I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find my car.
I hope the trains are running.
Chelsea have the ball on the edge of the Charlton penalty area. They're happy just to try and play it around on that far side, and I genuinely couldn't tell you who has possession of the football at this moment in time, because you can barely see the far side of the pitch. We're 5 minutes from the end. Chelsea have worked it inside though, and I can tell you that was a wayward shot from Enzo Fernandez from about 25 yards at just behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was Neto driving inside from the left-hand side, finds Enzo. He's a good 30 plus yards from goal, going away as well. It wasn't on to shoot really. Should have fed it out here to Esteval. I think Chelsea been a little bit wasteful with these sort of opportunities. If they just find that extra pass, a little bit more patient, they'll probably go and get the fourth and kill this game. But I think a few of them are sort of seeking a little bit of glory, taking on shots when perhaps they should look for a teammate.
And Chelsea have picked up the pieces with Delap in the middle of the park after that Charlton goal kick, and they're working out to Esteval on this right hand side again, up against Macaulay Gillespie. He's looked a real live wire, as you'd expect since he's come on. Plays a 1-2 inside with Pedro Neto, has the ball again. Neto rolls it towards the edge of the Charlton penalty area, but Chelsea were happy to have the ball work it back towards the halfway line. And all the way back to Jorgensen. Fofana it was who sent it back. Chelsea have it on halfway. Don't forget West Ham against Queen's Park Rangers coming up in the FA Cup tomorrow on BBC Radio London. We've seen some big scouts in the FA Cup today. Macclesfield from the National League North knocking out Crystal Palace, the current holders. Millwall dumped out of the cup by Burnley. Big score in that one as well. Brentford are through to the next round as Charlton lose out in the park with Delap, and they will look to try and send it over towards that far side once more. Chelsea. Oh, almost lost the ball there as it's gone into that mist in front of the Alan Kirby's side. They really need to get the ball out to Esteval for a number of reasons. He's looked such a light wire, but also I can actually see him on this near side because there's not as much mist as Chelsea try and work it back down the right hand side. Fofana now. They're just slowing the play here. Chelsea know if things stay like this, they'll have a comfortable passage through to the third round. And Fofana and Caicedo have just played about 10 1-2s in a row inside the middle of the park, and now they eventually work it back towards the far side. So loose touch there, picked up by Leeburn on that far side for Charlton. They need a goal back now, really, if you think they're going to try and make a fist of this in the closing stages. Leeburn on the right hand edge of the box tries to send the ball inside, but across takes a touch off the Chelsea defender, and they'll work it back up towards the halfway line. But Bree reads that pass for the Addicts, and Lloyd Jones will take over again. Minute and a half of the normal time to go here. We'll find out how much added time will be added on after that as well. It's Chelsea leading by 3-1 in the FA Cup third round. Charlton have the ball and roll it all the way back to Will Mannion. If this game, if we were only just starting the second half here, Johnny, I really think this game would be at risk of abandonment. But there's only a few minutes left here as Charlton work the ball up to Alafe now. Tries to backheel it back into the path of Carey, but it's not enough on that. And then Nibs gives away a foul on Caicedo as he tries to win the ball back inside the Chelsea half. As Chelsea will have a free kick, where they're in absolutely no rush to take. So would have a much changed side, but would have Liam Rosenior learnt about his new charges this evening, Johnny?
Yeah, I think he'd be really pleased with the second half, especially. First half was tight, had a lot of the ball, but didn't really affect Charlton too much till right at the end there when Hote scores the goal. But second half, they came out, was dominant, got the second goal, and it looked for a minute they might go on and get that third, and then Charlton's goal certainly stalled that. Charlton looked like they might get back in it, but I think that Chelsea's response since getting that third goal, they could have gone on. They've had opportunities to maybe get a fourth and really kill the tie, but sort of snuffed out any chances really that Charlton have had since then, and it's took the opportunity to get Enzo on the pitch and Esteval and Delap and Neto now, so he's seen a little bit from everyone. I think that Rosenior would have just been hoping that he comes through it unscathed, they get the win and they move on. Obviously from his point of view, tougher tests to come, Arsenal in the League Cup and really tough run in the Premier League, but the important thing for Chelsea was just getting through tonight.
3 minutes added on. There's a chance here for Chelsea to try and find a fourth as Enzo Fernandez drives towards the edge of the box, the ball over towards the far side, shooting opportunity for Chelsea, and it's drilled into the bottom corner. It's a fourth goal for Chelsea, and that will put the tie beyond any doubt, even if there was any at this point. It's Pedro Neto, the substitute, who came on, cut onto his right foot and just buried it in the bottom corner beyond Will Mannion. And in the first minute of added time here at the Valley, it's Charlton 1, Chelsea 4.
Yeah, this time really clinical from Chelsea. Neto burying this chance, and it was almost a sort of an attack v defence trading ground drill really. Chelsea counter-attacking in numbers, overloading Charlton. Enzo had his pick, he could have gone right to Esteval, he goes left to Neto, who cuts inside onto his right foot and absolutely rifles home, drills it home hard and low, and Mannion absolutely no chance. He's made some good saves in this second half, but no chance with that one, and Chelsea buried the tie.
Well, the Charlton fans down the other end of the ground might have to take our word for that one with this miss, but it was Pedro Neto who cut in and scored a wonderful goal there for Chelsea to make it 4-1 to the Blues. Liam Rosenior's first game in charge. We'll see him take his side through to the fourth round of the FA Cup. Pedro Neto, the former Wolves man, with Chelsea's fourth, into the second of 3 added minutes here at the Valley, and Charlton have been roundly beaten in the end here. Looked like they were working their way back into the tie at 2-1 when Leeburn got the goal back for the Addicts shortly after they went 2 goals behind, but Chelsea through Mark Guillot and Pedro Neto have put this tie to bed right at the end of this second half. Over on the right hand side now, can they find time for a fifth here at the Valley? Chelsea have the ball on the halfway line with Fofana, Neto, Fernandez. Oh, that's wonderful football, and it's Esteval who's through here for a fifth here for Chelsea. Can he get the shot away onto his right foot? Mannion comes out and takes him out, and the referee will point to the penalty spot. It looked like he may have got a hand on the ball there, but the referee was in no doubt there. It's a foul, it's a penalty kick for Chelsea. Esteval the man who won it, Mannion the man who gave it away, and a chance for Chelsea to make it 5 right at the very end of this one.
Yeah, I don't think that's a penalty for me, Louis. It looked like Esteval just overrun it. He's trying to go round the goalkeeper, chops it. Looks like he's just got a little bit too much on it, and Mannion looked like he got a little hand to it. Goes over theatrically, does Esteval, and as the referee blew, I thought he might be booking him for a dive, or certainly giving given a goal kick to Charlton, but points to the spot to my surprise, and Chelsea have the opportunity to make it 5, but I think harshly done by there, the goalkeeper.
It's Enzo Fernandez who's placed the ball on the spot. 2 goals in his last 3 games. Can he get a third in 4? Right at the end of this game, a chance for Chelsea to add a 5th in this FA Cup tie in front of their travelling fans in the Jimmy Seed stand. Enzo steps up with the penalty kick, and it's through Will Mannion and into the back of the net, and that is the icing on the cake for Chelsea. The referee blows the final whistle as that hits the back of the net as well. So Charlton defeated, dumped out of the FA Cup by their Premier League opponents. Liam Rossigna off to an excellent start as Chelsea manager. Final whistle here at the Valley in the FA Cup third round, a London derby. It finishes Charlton Athletic 1, Chelsea 5. Johnny, emphatic in the end there, but Chelsea will be particularly happy with the way that's panned out.
Yeah, obviously the most important thing for them was getting through, but I think they was, well, in fact, scoreline in the end, second half, they was pretty dominant, apart from the period where Charlton got the goal back, and maybe 5 minutes after that where it looked like they might get back in it, but Chelsea went and got the third pretty quickly, and then gone and got a 4th and a 5th, and in truth they could have had more in that second half. Mannion's probably kept the score down to 5 in the end, so a good night's work for Chelsea. Rossigna, well, we're happy with what he's seen. They're in their hat for the 4th round. Charlton can keep their heads up high. They gave Chelsea some real problems at times, but in the end, too much for Chelsea.
So on the day we saw one of the biggest shocks ever in the FA Cup, with Macclesfield dumping Crystal Palace out of the FA Cup. We didn't see one here at the Valley. Chelsea through 5-1 here on BBC Radio London. We will leave you with the news at 10 o'clock.
On the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker,
Play BBC Radio London.
and on your radio.
The sound of London. BBC Radio London.
BBC News at 10 o'clock. This is Catherine Cracknell. Reports suggest hundreds of people in Iran have been killed or wounded by security forces over the past 3 days as anti-government protests continue to sweep the country. The BBC has spoken to medics who say their hospitals are being overwhelmed. President Trump said the people of Iran were looking at freedom and that the US stood ready to help. The retired American general, David Petraeus, says there are several military options available.
There can certainly be strikes on the headquarters of the security force organizations that are violently putting down these protests, these demonstrations that have been killing the people in very substantial numbers. He could go after the missile capability that they have, which of course was heavily damaged during the Israeli strikes against Iran, which concluded with a U.S. substantial bombing as well.
South East Waters apologised after more than 28,000 properties on its network were left with no water or low pressure. People in Tunbridge Wells in Kent, who were hit by a major outage last month, are again experiencing problems. The town's Liberal Democrat MP, Mike Martin, explained what his constituents have been facing.
We obviously had the 2-week outage at the beginning of December, and then over the period between then and now, we've had intermittent, an hour here, an hour there, 4 hours there, 4 hours there, and then from Tuesday,
The sound of London.
And all the music you love. BBC
Radio London.
Hello, everybody, and a very, very good evening to you. Saturday evening, and I'm hoping you are all feeling cosy and warm. You've had, hopefully, a nice day of rest and recreation, unless, of course, you were working. I had a lovely day, actually. I've been reading about saunas. Oh, I wouldn't mind talking about this. We might talk about it on Chewing the Fat. I am lucky enough to have a sauna near me. I don't know how many people have saunas. If I was broadcasting broadcasting in Scandinavia, everyone would have a sauna on their street corner, if not in their own house. I mean, we don't have homes, we don't have that money, we don't have gyms often in this country, certainly not local authority gyms that offer a sauna, unless you are lucky enough to have one.